you doing out here? It's time for another episode of Worship Tech Tour. So hop on in this bad boy and let's go check out Compassion Church. So in today's episode of Worship Tech Tour, we're gonna walk you through some pretty incredible systems they have here at Compassion Church. Their state-of-the-art broadcast video setup with RED Komodo cameras and incredible Canon lenses. Their audio system that has a DiGiCo Quantum console. They've got a 50-foot wide LED screen. But the thing that I'm most impressed about is the team and the systems they have operating it all and the infrastructure that underlies it all. It's gonna be a great episode to sit back, relax, enjoy some popcorn. You are gonna nerd out like crazy over the infrastructure that they got here. So here's the team, just waiting for us here. We'll just pull up in their little shop in the back of the church. Try not to run into anything. All right, well, meet the team here at Compassion. We've got Tyler, who is executive producer, production director. Yep. We've got Matt on audio, Kevin on another producer. What's your role?
Associate Director of Production. He's Director of Production, Associate Director.
Associate,
yeah,
okay.
producer.
You are his associate. There we go.
Right.
And then, look at this familiar face here, Colby, Griner, the one and only from TikTok. So, you are my TikTok inspiration.
Appreciate it.
So, let's head on in here, guys. So welcome to Compassion Christian Church. Let's dive into another episode of Worship Tech Tour. Let's check out front of house. And Matt, you are audio engineer, correct?
Yep.
Mix engineer?
Mix engineer.
What's your actual title?
So my full title is Production Systems Engineer, but I also handle audio here at our Henderson campus.
Okay. So what am I looking at right now?
So this is a DiGiCo Quantum 5. We've had it for about a year now. It's a massive desk, but we do everything from front of house. So we do front of house for the room, obviously. We also do monitors for the band from front of house. And all of our broadcast stuff comes from this desk. And we also have a really cool feature that we have 64 channels back and forth to our comm system. So we're able to do cool stuff like talkbacks to the band from comm to the band, mixes to the comm system, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, why did you guys go with the Quantum versus some of the other options out there? What were the other options you considered?
So originally we were an Avid house. We had an Avid S6L previously, which was end of life. So we were looking at another Avid desk. Our main issue was price point versus capabilities, or you know, how many inputs versus outputs, because we're handling a lot of I/O.
Yeah.
So we went specifically with this desk because of I/O count. Also, DiGiCo is a great customer service company. You know, I would say, like they're always like, even for like a church, you know, they're really good at like answering phones at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday to help out with problems, that kind of stuff. They're just really great. Really great company to work with.
You know what these buttons remind me of, like the old like arcade games buttons.
They're nice buttons. I like
Yeah,
the
they're
buttons.
nice. It's different. You don't like feel that on other consoles.
Yeah, it's a really pretty desk too. Lots of fun colors, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So the what's the input output count?
So this desk can do 255 inputs by like 100 something outputs, I think.
And how do they count those? Are they mono inputs or is that stereo inputs?
They're all mono.
All
so
mono,
a stereo
okay.
channel can do 2 inputs. This desk also does like 7.1 or 5.1 surround stuff too, which we don't use, but those also, that's 5 inputs, 6 inputs. Yeah. We're only using about 150 right now with the stage boxes, plus we're doing digital inputs for playback for like CG machines and stuff like that, and of course the ClearComm system. Got it.
And then walk me through, how do you like lay out the console?
Sure. So I call it rock and roll style. So it's outputs, or inputs, outputs, inputs. Okay. So with the DiGiCo, what's really cool about it is you can put anything anywhere and customize inputs, outputs on your fader banks. So it's 100% customizable. I just keep it simple. All of our campuses have DiGiCos, so we kind of keep the layout kind of similar. So any staff member can go to any campus and be familiar with the layout kind of thing. Yep. So on the left side are all of our, basically our band inputs. So
drums, guitars, keys, playback.
Yep, drums, guitars, keys and tracks, playback. This is all like CG machines, Resi, that kind of stuff. Effects returns on this side, so drum reverbs, vocal delays, all that kind of fun stuff. And usually in the center, I live on my VCAs or DCAs, whichever you prefer. Typical DCAs, drums, bass, guitars, keys, tracks. I have a vocal effects master and a band master for the entire band and vocal master for the entire vocal group.
Nice. Yep.
And on the right side, the first thing we hit are actually all of the hosting mics, is what I like to call them. So all of our pastor mics, all of our host handheld, host body packs, that kind of thing.
Yep. Baptistry
mics. And then we switch down into our vocal group, which we have 12 vocal channels. We have a lot of vocalists usually. Those are all just used for vocalists. They all go through waves. They all get processed, that kind of thing. And then we have just for our online campus. So online does, so our online does the welcome in the room live. So I have all that stuff coming from them. So this is a custom one. So this is just all the online microphones, the online CG machines, all the special stuff we get from them. Like there is a program that we'll probably talk about later called Zoom ISO we get from online. The live view when they do remote broadcasts from a different campus, that kind of stuff comes in there. That one is another copy of playback stuff. So if I can't get it here, I can get it over there. Nice. You know, and that's everything else is just utility stuff. Yeah.
The did I say Beyonce?
Yeah, that's a really long push delay. So it's like a quarter note. Just I call it Beyonce because it's like back in like the early 2000s. That was her kind of thing for concerts, you know. So I just labeled that ever since then.
That's great. The okay, so walk us through the logic of how you're mixing for online again one more time, and like it's all coming from a matrix here, or?
Yeah, so our online broadcast is basically a mix of the subgroups for the house. So it does basically it's a house feed. We're able to adjust levels, like, oh, the drums are too hot, we can bring down the online drum level in general. That goes to a different desk, our online desk, which is operated by a volunteer, and they get the broadcast mix basically, which is just worship, it's just band stuff.
Can they control the groups, or you have to control them here?
We control them from here.
Okay. And you're just putting on headphones.
I'm just putting headphones and check in real quick, make sure it's all clean and not clipping, or it's balanced pretty well. And they get all the online stuff, so they get online CG stuff, they get the online host mics, and they mix it back there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yep. What's that console back there for?
It's a really old Avid. Okay. It's a D-Show profile. It was our original front of house desk in our old room. Yep. And we fixed it up. So it's the same thing happened, like COVID happened, and we were like, oh, we need an online ministry kind of thing. So we're like, we have this desk sitting here, so let's see if we can fix it and put it back to life. And so that's what we did. Yep.
And then Waves is integrated right here. Yep. Okay, but then how does the integration work with this console and Waves and getting the sound to and from it?
So there is, just like any other Wave setup, there's an external Wave server, which is back here in this rack behind us. Yep. And there's a Waves card built into the desk. You can get a DiGiCo with a built-in Waves card, which is what we did. And the integration is really cool because it basically follows the desk. So I can control Waves from the console. So if I select our snare drum, it brings up the snare drum channel for me automatically.
And this is a touchscreen?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
And so it also has, you can use your touch to turn too. So if I really want to get a knob, I can select something and then I go in there with a desk knob and control it.
Nice. Does this touch turn knob will always sync with whatever?
Yeah, whatever you have touched.
That's nice.
And it's really cool because it isn't like an external thing. Like there's an external server, so DiGiCo knows that's talking to it. So if it ever does fail, there's a setting that just turns off all the inserts automatically for you. Yeah. So it just keeps going. Yep. In case like Waves does crash, which has never really happened to me before. Yep. Like once or twice, but it's really rare.
Let's look at your. If you want to get a good shot of this guy here, look at your rack. What you got going here? So we've got all the vocals getting. So what's VEQ? Never used that one before. Puig child. Puig. How do you say that? Puig.
Puy. I call it Puy.
Puy child?
Yeah.
Puy.
I don't know if that's
Is
right.
it French
but
or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's fancy. It's
You got
it's
the
named after a guy.
F6, you got sibilants, and then any tuning happening anywhere?
Yeah, so I put tuning on a different rack.
Okay.
So all the auto tunes are just on their own single rack. And I do that because I have a kill auto tune button on the desk itself.
Oh.
So it's going through on the input channels on the DiGiCo. I have an A insert and a B insert. So all the auto tunes go through the B insert, so I can hit this button and kill all the auto tunes across the entire desk.
Oh.
It just turns off that insert on all the.
That's cool. I never seen that or thought about just giving it a different rack, because then you're saying, so right now, what if the auto tunes are live? My input is coming from the first rack channel strip for the vocals. That does all the process. Are you doing tuning first or last?
After everything. Yeah.
Got it. So like right now, because this is like vocal 2, outputs D31 here. But then if I go to your auto tune for 2 here, is it? I guess how is that routing logic working then?
So it's basically 2 route points on the waves card. So insert 1 just goes through like channel 1 and the card, and back through input channel 1 to the card. And so auto tune is further down the list. It's like
you're using
35.
2 inserts on the channel.
Yeah, 2 separate inserts.
Okay, so it's not going from the SoundGrid into another rack. It's going from DiGiCo through SoundGrid once,
Yep.
and then back through the channel strip, then out the other insert to the next one with tuning. That's cool. Okay.
So the only reason I'm able to do that is because, like I said, we also do in-ears from front of house. I actually double patched all my vocal channels secretly on a different layer. So the vocal channels are 0 latency. They don't go through waves.
Yep.
They can't hear tuning because that's on the primary channel for the house.
Yep.
So all the in-ear stuff is clean for their vocal channels
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like how clean is clean? Are you giving them some compression or anything like that? Or
I'm doing basically, I do a notch. I basically do a high pass plus like a low mid notch just to clean it up.
yeah.
And then a safety limiter, so they don't damage their hearing, kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah. So then, how are they managing their mixes? Like,
so we use a software called Klang, which is also integrated into the desk. Which I have pulled up here actually. I can show you. It's called Immersive mixing. So it does 16 channels, stereo intermix channels.
yeah.
And what's really cool, these are all so I have master control over Klang, so I can see everything. So these are all of our band members from last week. So these are all their different mixes up top. And so they can basically see this on an iPad or an iPhone or Android, any kind of device. They can have a Surface and basically it's cross-platform. So that's one of the reasons we got it, because it's really, anybody who has a Droid. It's not like, because the Avid was iOS specific. You couldn't use it on Droid.
So Klang does 16 stereo inputs.
Yeah, 16 stereo mixes.
Or mixes.
It's 64 inputs to Klang
great.
per person.
Great.
So everybody gets 64 channels. So it's basic. We color code it. So drums, bass, guitars, keys, tracks, click and guide.
Is Klang just receiving whatever audio protocol that comes from DiGiCo, or is it Dante? How does it?
Yeah. So there's so DiGiCo has DMI cards in the back of it. So there's just a card that goes in the back of the desk. That runs, it's basically a little mini computer that runs all of this. But it's really cool about it, which I didn't think people would like. It's a 3D immersive.
Yeah.
So you can actually not just do a left-right pan, you can actually place it in a 3D space around your head.
Yep.
Which is what this represents.
And it's kind of doing that with the magic of adding maybe some reverb in it or something like that.
Yeah, it's all delay and phase.
Delay and phase. Okay, got it.
So you have to have both in-ears in to actually have this work, otherwise it sounds really weird.
Yeah.
And we always came from like just a little left-right mix kind of Avion situation before this. So I thought our band members who'd been on it for years would hate it, but they're the first ones to like, hey, this is great, we love this. We can put the click on top of our heads and put the drums behind us, kind of thing.
Yep.
So all of our band members really take to this really well. They really enjoy it.
looking at your workspace here, so you got the stand-up desk. So do you bring it up and down to whatever level you need?
Yeah, we have a sit mode and a stand mode. So that's,
there's sit mode.
Yeah.
Nice.
So nice. Tyler has the levels because he's really tall.
Yeah, you've got the nice cable management with stand-up desks is always fun because you got to leave the slack for it.
Yeah, we had to build like a massive loom to it.
Yep, and then you've got your keyboard and mouse under here. What's this thing?
That's the console keyboard.
Oh, okay.
It has an on-screen keyboard, but DiGiCo's weird, and they have to have a UK keyboard to work. Oh, okay. So it comes with the desk. They built in like that.
Yep, keyboard, mouse, Stream Deck. What do you trigger with Stream Deck here?
So Stream Deck does a lot of stuff for us. Of course, we use Companion to control a lot of stuff in the building. Mm-hmm. The main thing we use it for here is I have my own page. So a lot of that page will switch my multi-view over here so I can see different multi-view shots.
Yep.
It does building modes. So all of our building is controlled by QSys. Mm-hmm. So I can put it into what we call service mode or rehearsal mode. So either there's like just house music in the lobby or it switches over to the desk, that kind of thing for services. Yep. We control our switcher from here. We can control TVs on and off from here. It's a lot.
Yeah. I like that. I never seen one of these guys for the mic meter. Or the level meters and a clock. That's a cool little close up of that. Yeah.
That's just a little monitor we got off Amazon almost a year ago now.
It's just a monitor.
It's just a monitor.
And then what app is running it?
We're running Smart on our machine. It's on the same machine over here. Yep. It's hidden away by Klang.
That's a cool idea for a monitor, right above the console. Nice low profile.
But this usually sits here and gives us our RTA information.
Yeah, so you can see Smart's running on there. And then that monitor's just plugged into the computer.
Yep. It's just a separate screen we just drug over the SPL bank, so I can always have eyes on it.
That's a Togtra trick. Tog. Definitely not pronouncing that.
Yeah, it's like go on Amazon and search like small mini widescreens.
Yeah.
You can find them pretty easily.
All right, then you got the foot pedal down here, the MIDI foot controller.
Yeah, hidden back there.
What are you doing? Yeah, what's that for?
So that does a couple things. That I just have it for funsy stuff. So like I can do tap tempos on the desk with it. Nice. I can switch like screen banks and stuff. I don't do anything that can like kill audio or like snapshots in case I accidentally bump a wrong button or whatever. Yep. And the pedals do like rides on certain things. So like I can do a plus minus 5 dB ride on an effects fader, or like if I do have like house mics, I can like bump them up and bump them back down kind of thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Without having to dig through the desk to like grab a fader really quick.
Yeah, we got 4 limbs, so might as well use them all.
For real.
When you're running sound.
Yeah.
Wow. And then a little rack setup here. We noted your Wave server earlier. Yep. What else do we have going down here?
So I think I'm really using we have 2 reverbs. I just have an extra snare verb just for really big songs, that need a super big snare verb. Yeah. And this is Beyonce. This is the Beyonce delay. It's like a one-word push. So I just I press a button and it sends that one phrase through. Yep. I don't use it that often, but during special events.
The sound of the old school lexicons, you just like the sound of it?
Yeah, I'm really particular about my reverb sounds and my snare especially. I have a hard time finding ones I like in waves because we don't have all of them, right? So we had this laying around and I was like, let me try that. And it's just giving me what I want,
Yeah, that's great. Then you get some tie lines for audio.
Yeah, so this patches back to our amp room and also jumps up to the booth upstairs in case you have to patch something to a computer real quick, that kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. That's a pretty epic front of house. We can move on to, this looks like a producer station.
Yep, that's Kevin's world.
All right, Kevin.
Really fast, do you want to talk about comm audio integration? Would that be
cool? If you want to do it. This is your comms?
I think you might like it.
Yeah, I use it for comms. I don't think he might have a headset on, but that's part of the cool comm integration thing is that I can solo mix. I have a solo bus on the desk that I can also pipe comms into, so I can always hear comm. That's how I listen to comm normally. Is I put the headset on and I just listen to comms that way. Because I only listen for key moments like transitions, video times, that kind of stuff. This is actually a custom audio multi-view that I have. So this is really helpful because I get to see all of our graphics machines. I can see what they're playing, their levels they're playing at. So I can see if I'm getting audio from them. I also see what I'm sending out to our Resi encoders, our online mix, what their audio is doing. So I can see our input signals and output signals that I'm sending out. And we also have a custom tab up here that I can see what our lobby is doing. So if it's in rehearsal mode or service mode, if we change it on the stream deck, it'll change and tell me that, oh, this is in rehearsal mode, or are you going live to the lobby, that kind of thing, audio-wise.
That's cool. Yeah, having the visual reference is super important.
Yeah, so like I can see, oh, we're not getting audio on CG1. The video's playing, but I'm not getting it from it, or it's on my end, that kind of thing. Yep. Okay. That's it. Sorry.
Man, look at this command center you got here, Kevin.
Yeah.
4 screens.
Yeah, never enough.
I like the tilted monitors down here.
Yeah.
This is not touchscry, right?
No, it's not. We're not that cool yet.
But it's better now. You can if I'm sitting here as producer, I can see what's going on. I can see everything here. It's probably better when the lights are down, so you don't have glares. You're trying to read right there. But
yeah, exactly. So this is my station here where I sit each Sunday, and so I guess I can kind of walk you through. Up top, there's just 2 multi-views. Top left there is what we call our producer multi-view. So upstairs, there's actually a volunteer producer. And so that just kind of gives you the most important stuff, your CGs, preview program, all that kind of stuff. On the right is kind of like our point of view POV multi-view. So that way I can see pretty much anywhere I need to see, both in this room and in a couple other places. So you can see there's some backstage. Yep, exactly. That's I can see our online studio video control, so I can see if I'm trying to call Colby, I can see if he's there or not or whatever. And then a couple shots in the room as well that can help as well. And then also in the bottom center, you can see our student center, which is a different room in the building, and I can see what's happening in there because we have simultaneous student services at the same time as here. So that's that. Going down here to the right, that's just a Resi decoder, and so I'm the one who actually, we're one church with 7 locations, so pre-service and our sermon go out from here to our 6 other locations, and so I'm the one who puts in those cues, each Sunday for our 6 other campuses, so they know when their in and outs are, and they can cue it up.
So your line cut for broadcast is going into a Resi encoder. It gets into their. This is a control software, right? And then you're the one saying, okay, at this moment, this is where you need to start sermon for your broadcast campus, or your satellite campus, and this is where it ends. Do you guys? What else do you do with Resi? Do you do any? Is it just the video with the baked-in audio? Are you sending any multi-track audio to campus?
So we send, as far as audio goes, there's pretty much 3 different feeds they get. So they get program left right. They get basically talkers. So actually it might be 4 technically, because they get left right. They get pastor is one. They get hosts, which is another one, and then they get playback, so video. So it's 4 stereo feeds that they can choose from, depending on the needs.
Are the campuses all doing the same set list?
Yes, we're a centrally programmed church. So songs are the same, service orders the same, timing's the same, all that stuff.
And at each campus, you do have a dedicated production lead there?
That's right, yeah. So every campus has a full-time production staff person there, and then everything else is run by serve team members, volunteers,
Yep, and they're all permanent locations, they're not portable.
That's right, Yep.
Awesome.
And then, the last monitor here is just remote desktop pretty much, so I can look in and see and / control if I need to all the key things. So on the right side of that monitor is our 2 CG machines, which I can show you in just a moment upstairs. In the middle there is our lights, so Vista. On the bottom is actually workbench, wireless workbench, so I can keep an eye on the pastor's mics, host mics. Those are really the only things I keep an eye on, make sure they're on when he goes up, they're not popping or whatever before he starts talking, so I can have visuals on all that beforehand. And then on the left is supposed to be Slack, but our ISP is down right now, so we have no network. But that's how we communicate with our staff across all the other campuses.
That's cool.
Is in Slack, and so I'll give them a heads up about queues and stuff like that.
I like the advantage of using remote desktop for just mostly monitoring everything, and then you can even, because remote desktop is, is that the Apple native
the Apple
one?
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you just, are you able to save all these settings, or do you have to like log into everyone?
No, yeah, no, I just click in and it logs in.
Yeah, and then you can toggle between observe mode, so then you don't accidentally like click on someone doing something like that.
But if something goes wrong or there's some kind of mistake, I can pop in there instantly and try to fix it or whatever.
Yeah, because it's almost a little more advantageous for this type of role than a KVM might be.
Right.
Because I feel like I don't know if KVMs that let you like see everything simultaneously like that.
It's also a lot cheaper than a KVM system.
Yeah,
like that,
totally.
for sure.
Well, because is this computer itself on a KVM, or is it here somewhere?
No, it's here.
Okay,
in
got
this
it.
rack.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, that's great.
But yeah, and then Stream Deck on your left there.
Yep.
I'll let Colby talk a lot more about the really smart stuff behind Stream Deck, but I think he's using the satellite system. Is that right, Colby? Great, I got that right. All I know is that it does what I need to do. So I've got a utility page right there. If I hit this guy, yep. And so the top section there just changes this multi-view. If I need to see something else, I can switch that, or that second row is just the specific cameras that you saw on that POV.
Did I just break it?
It's okay. Sometimes switching between certain inputs, there's a little bit of a delay.
It doesn't want me to go really fast?
That's right, yeah. But then the second row is those POV cameras. I can make them full screen on there if I need to, see something.
Oh, that is cool.
So like that's the stage left one. There it is.
There we go. Nice.
So yeah, I can see usually our pastor sits here, and so host and stuff. So if people are standing and I can't see, is he here? Whatever.
Got it.
The bottom two, the blue ones, we have a center confidence monitor that's right under our camera 1 and 2, and that just controls what goes to that. So most of the time we send program feed to that, but for some moments or certain communicators, we have like a makeshift teleprompter type setup, and so I can switch between who's talking, program feed, or the teleprompter for what they need. So that's what that is. That's my special page. Yeah, the top left one is back to the POV if that's what you're looking for. Yeah. And then I think that's pretty much all the stuff for that stream that's specific to me. There's a lot of other stuff obviously on there, like Matt said. But.
So explain to me on a Sunday, what are the typical roles that you're overseeing and directing?
Sure. Yeah. So my role, at least at the Henderson campus, I'm over pretty much the in-room experience. And so obviously down here on the lower level, it's me and Matt. Matt's running audio. I sit here as kind of I don't like executive producer, I guess. But then upstairs, which we'll go see in a second, there's CG operator, lighting operator, and a producer. So like I said, producer is actually a serve team member, a volunteer, who kind of is like the air traffic controller, cueing people to do certain things. Which they're like very well experienced. Like our producers are amazing, and so I'm pretty much just overseeing all of that. And so I'm taking in all those different things and trying to make sure everything goes smoothly. But then outside of that, we have a stage team, bring stuff on and off, cue talent to come on and off, whatever. And then obviously we have camera operators in the room, which I know Colby will talk about that. And then back in video, there's a whole team of video people, but in the room, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I think it's good for people listening and watching to understand the importance of a producer role. And a lot of times in small to medium-sized churches, like the sound person or the CG operator is the producer too.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets overwhelming. You could simplify and hopefully bring the stress levels down on Sunday if you found another volunteer, and like maybe you give some tips on what that could look like, but someone who could be like, hey, they've got the planning center, list of what's happening on this during the service, or just a simple spreadsheet, and they're the ones like fielding anything or making sure everybody's on the same page, because it's hard when you're operating sound or CG to think and see what's going on.
Right.
But then even for you guys, it's a big enough operation to justify your role is more kind of executive level, overseeing all of it. So then another producer, like you said, is that air traffic controller who's like on the comms more. Right. So if you can not be on comms, I'm sure, for a minute if you have to.
That's the thing, like it's huge, because if, let's say something does happen, something breaks, something malfunctions, or, we also oversee production in like our kids' rooms and the student room, if something goes down over there, I am free 9 times out of 10 to go handle that, knowing that this room is going to be totally fine because the producer is overseeing it. And you talk about like picking, someone maybe from your volunteer team or whatever, like all of our producers started somewhere else on our team. No one comes to our team as like, I want to be a producer. If you're a producer, then you start on CG. If you're interested in being a producer, you start on CG, you start on lights, you start on something. And over time, as you get comfortable with what we do here, and as we get comfortable with you and we trust you more, then you get into the producer type.
Yeah, it's got to be someone who like is detail-oriented, can see ahead what's coming up next.
Right. And gets
not,
us.
And yeah, gets in and not afraid to like kind of take command of a situation to like give the cue, give the call out.
Exactly. Yep.
That's great. Yeah. So a couple audio interfaces. You've got this. This is your Mac.
That's the audio one.
That's the audio Mac.
Waves and stuff. Yeah.
But then is this one yours? The Mac
Yes,
Mini?
exactly. Yeah.
Cisco, more tie lines, battery
UPS.
backup.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep. Pretty simple. Radio for talking with security, medical, whatever, and I just tie it into my FreeSpeak pack.
Yep.
Which we have back here. So.
Oh yeah.
The FreeSpeak pack, and then it ties into the jack here.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a I'm missing the other cable, but yeah, it ties in there. So that way I can monitor, security channels, medical, and then obviously if something in here happens, I can radio them.
So from a comm standpoint, you're talking to front of house, light is lighting up here.
Yep.
We'll talk about that.
Yep.
Your video control room, CG,
Yep.
the other producer up there, backstage, stage manager.
Team, yep, exactly.
And you're using the ClearCom FreeSpeak for everybody.
That's right. Yeah. Well, yeah, the stationary positions have panels, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, for wireless, it's all FreeSpeak. Yep. So yeah, that's my little.
You've got and you got the stand up. Do you ever use it, or do
exactly. Yeah. So when we're in singing and stuff like that, I'll stand up and vibe out. So yeah, that's it.
Let's go up to lighting world.
Yeah.
All right, what's your guys' workflow for lighting, like how you're programming it on a weekly basis and getting it set up for whoever operates it on a Sunday?
Sure, yeah, so our service flow, by and large, is pretty standard each week, so there's not a whole lot of variations. I mean, sometimes there are, but so for the most part, working from the previous week as far as our key elements, pre-service, walk-in, welcome, all that kind of stuff, and all we change each week is, for the most part, the songs. And so yeah, we do it on a like a weekly basis as far as like the actual cue lists and stuff. And then we go back and if it's a song we've already done, we'll pull that song from a previous week and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, as far as volunteers go, we program everything ahead of time. So volunteers are just advancing cues when it comes to that. So and then I don't know.
What's this?
Yeah, so this is the green Hippo. This is the software for the center LED wall that's down there, and so Vista is actually sending cues to the Hippo to change, what's happening up there. So
is it almost like Resolume or something?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah, it's similar idea, but basically in Vista, this is a DMX fixture, and so if you look over here, right here, that's the Hippo, and so we set what whatever setup we have over here, this is Q7 on the Hippo. So on this lighting cue, it's sending signal to the Hippo that it wants to pull the 7th cue right there. And so as, if we go through the songs and stuff, it's going to pull, the different lines here. So that's all Matt. Matt's really smart. So you got them talking to each other. And so that's the idea.
Because with in terms of what's happening on the screen, so you're adjusting brightness throughout the service, or just the content
in general?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, all of the above, content and effects and parameters and stuff. So if I go to the Stinger video that we do at the start of each service, it blacks out, and then I go to the first song here, it advances down to song 1,
okay,
that kind of stuff. And that way, it's all linked and tied, and timing wise, as lights change, the center wall changes, that kind of stuff.
So that content, that motion graphic, is it living in the Hippo?
Yes.
It's not living in ProPresenter.
That's right. Nope, it's all in the Hippo, yeah.
Okay.
So,
but could the Hippo pull in like an NDI feed or something?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
It can pull in all kinds. It can pull in our iMag feed,
Yep.
It's capable of pretty much, any of those inputs. So, but yeah, that's kind of how those things talk to each other. Yeah, so it can take in 6 different SDI inputs, and then also we key in, alpha key our lyrics on the center. Actually, if I go back to the song, and then I can pop in our lyrics for that song, you'll see it's on the center there. And so it's got, all these different layers here, and so this is the background, and this is the key source.
But then if I wanted to adjust the
right,
How much?
So right now that one's
okay, it's either
Luma
in
key,
or,
so it's going to be
funny.
a little
Yeah, it's
wonky,
like it messes it up if you don't have
Yeah.
the full brightness.
That's right. 81 is the sweet spot. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, and there's different ways to, you know, overlay stuff like that, alpha key, Luma key, whatever. So
Cool.
All right, starting here on this very front truss, these are auras, aura washes from Martin. Love these. Oftentimes they're either pointed out like this, or more often they're pointed straight down over our, you know, front of stage, you know, talkers or whomever. So those are great. The next set of washes that are in the air, these are all rush washes, and they just give, you know, a pretty even wash over the whole stage, and they're movers as well, so we can run effects on them and stuff. The profiles in the air, these are Mac Quantums. A couple of them are showing their age. I think they're pushing 10 years now, which is kind of crazy, but they're still great fixtures. Then that's everything for in the air as far as moving fixtures. We have these towers on the side here. These are Chroma Q Color 1s. The color on these are pretty phenomenal. I really love those. Then let's see, we can do, the floor wash underneath the wall. That's also rushes, identical to the rushes that are in the air. And then we have these floor profiles that are on the, wings over here. These are really old MH1 profiles, Rush MH1 I think they are. Super, super old, actually hand-me-downs from another church, but they work. And so we'll take that. And then these guys are new additions. This is a find from Colby. These are made by a company called Obsk. Like, it's one of these random Amazon brands, but they're super affordable. And yeah, the colors on them are actually quite good, and they're pretty bright and super cheap. I don't even remember how much they are per. $109 per,
What?
Colby says. Yeah, they're pretty insane. But they've worked so far, and I love them at, you know, as blinders, but I also even love them in low percentages, like how they just kind of glow whatever color you want, you know, over our walls and stuff is pretty cool. So yeah, those are I think all the actual, you know, special fixtures. As far as front light, we use the ETC Source 4 Luster. I think they're Series 2. And so we have a million of those, like a lot of them. And so we use them for all of our front light. They are the full color range, and so you can see sometimes we'll hit the front line with white always, but then the back line we tend to color them a little bit to try and give a little bit of separation, like on camera, a little bit of depth.
Oh, cool.
So it's not just a wash of color. You know, the back line will be just slightly tinted to match the song. That way they're lit, but also again it kind of adds layers, a little bit of depth to what we see. So those are front light. House lights, these are the Chroma Q Inspires. Those are showing their age. This building is 10 years old this year, and so some of them are starting to have some color issues, but for the most part they've been very good, and love the colors on them, even though they are starting to show kind of their age a little bit. But yeah, these are, you know, full color house lights, so we can do whatever, run, you know, effects if, you know, we're getting crazy or whatever. So we have individual control of each light here in the room. So yeah, I think those are all the fixtures.
Talk about the universes.
Oh yeah, so we have capability to do infinite universes, which is pretty cool, but we're pretty much running on, I mean, how many do we go to right now? You know, 10-ish, maybe 12 universes across all these that we're using. You know, some random one-off things on these later universes, but probably about 12 universes that we're fully using here. So yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, exactly, yeah, that's pretty much it. So for lights, does that cover what you're looking for?
Yes, sir.
Great.
What is happening over here?
All right, so we can start, I guess, CG first. So over here, we have two separate CG machines. We call them CG1, CG2. And so on the left is CG1. That is all of our, I think it's the other mouse there in the middle. That'll get you CG1. So on the left, CG1 is all of our full screen content and videos, those types of things. So things that need to go full screen on our side screens. And yeah, sometimes sermon slides, those kinds of things. So full screen graphics, full screen videos. On the right is anything that needs to be is lower thirds, like keyed on. That's a different setup. That's center screen. Normally they're lower thirds for Sunday morning when we're running iMag, obviously. But that's all lyrics, nameplates, those kinds of things that are on the separate, CG1 and CG2 type thing. So.
And these operators are here most of the time.
Yeah, 100% of the time.
Awesome.
Yep, it's one operator operating both. The cool thing is, like, there's never a need. They're never running both at the same time, and so they're just kind of bouncing back and forth between CG1 and CG2, one operator. So.
Yeah. So this is their ClearCom.
Yep. Yeah, that's their panel. Yep.
Nice.
And so they can. They have access to our channel A, which is just our main, production channel. If they wanted to listen to our camera, calls, they could. They really shouldn't at the CG station, but it's there. And then the other thing that's really important is click and guide. They can hear that as well, and so they know if verse, chorus, whatever's coming up next when they're running lyrics. Super helpful. So yeah, that's CG there. And then this is the producer station we were talking about earlier. So this is a serve team member who sits here. They get that multi-view, that same multi-view that we talked about downstairs. They'll have their planning center rundown sheet and be calling the service to everybody. And so
Do you ever wish these positions were in like a different room, isolated room, or?
Actually, no. We've talked about it, but I think it's very important for this person to feel the room, because there are certain moments that like for example, we do communion every week, and that's a moment where we have to feel the room. This person makes the call when to move from this reflective communion moment that's just instrumental, all that kind of stuff, into an actual song that everyone's going to sing together. And so this person needs to feel the room for stuff like that. And so we've thought about it, but I think at the end of the day, it's really important for them to be in the room. And then because of that, I think it's very important for this person to be within arm's reach and talking distance of this person. And so that way, especially when it comes to sermons, they can be pointing at slides, that need to go up or whatever. Yep. These two just have to be in constant communication. And so because this person's out here, I want the CG op out here.
What is this person going off of for a serve? Is it just a planning center?
Yep, it's just a planning center sheet. Yeah, I should have printed one off for you, but it's just a planning center sheet. And on that, I make a ton of notes that help this person and the whole team, honestly, hopefully be prepared. And so they just walk in and they kind of know what they're doing with very little, kind of guidance from me for the most part. So,
yep.
But yeah, and the other thing that this station has that the other stations don't have, they do have a band talkback. And so, like I was talking about, some of those transition moments, they're the ones cueing the worship team to go into the next thing, or coming out of a video, they're counting down the end of a video so the worship team knows when to fire the next song, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what that station is.
Let's talk about the space in general.
Sure.
And the PA system. I don't know if Matt, it'd be kind of cool. Could you just run some audio through? I'd love to hear the PA.
I don't know where he will definitely be the PA expert.
So 10-year-old building, you said?
Yep, 2016, this room opened. This whole part of the building opened 2016. But yeah, this room seats 2,067. We've recently removed a couple seats for some communion stations and stuff like that, but typically it's
2,067. I feel like it's a good size where it still doesn't feel that huge.
Right.
Like
it's definitely, especially because of the angle and the degrees, that the seats go around. Yeah. It definitely feels more intimate than a 2,000 seat room, to me at least.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of treatment went into it. Looks like you got plenty of panels around the room. It sounds good in here.
Yeah.
Are those clouds actually like absorbing?
Yes.
Audio?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Those are treated clouds.
Matt, walk us through the PA design here.
Yeah, so we have a JBL VTX rig. The main arrays consist of, there are 4 of them. They consist of V20 boxes. I think there's 9 in each, 8 or 9 in each array. We have 12 dual 18s. 12 dual 18s. There's 6 in the air, 6 under the stage. I'm not sure, they're not the VTX subs, they're a different model of JBL subs, but they're still in the same family.
Yeah, I've never seen that like arrangement of the subs like that, kind of in the triangle.
Yeah, I haven't either.
What?
I haven't either.
Okay.
So, this was designed 10 years ago by, we hired a design firm called Debris. when we designed this building, and they designed all the PA system for us. I think.
Wait, so they were like an architecture firm that also does PAs?
No, they're
they integrated?
They're a integration design, a production integration design company.
Got it. Okay.
They do. I'm not sure what they've done recently, but
Did they just design? They didn't build it?
no, Summit did the build.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But now Summit does all of our integration and
They
building
do
for
design
us.
build.
Yeah, they do both for
got
us
it.
now.
Yeah.
But so basically the way they set it up is that this array on this side is in time with this sub. They're on the same plane together.
Oh.
Same thing for that side, and then same thing in the center too.
Yeah.
They're all on the same plane.
Yeah.
We used to do, when we first started, we used to do a reverse stereo. So center was left, or left was left, right was right, and then the outside mirrored. So there's a full stereo image across the room. But we quickly realized that the two outside arrays got overlapped too much. So we're getting a lot of phase problems with just walking around the room. So now we do some mono on the sides and then stereo in the center.
Yeah.
And then we have JBL front fills across the front of the stage to get the really first 2 or 3 rows.
Yep. And all the delays. It's like 13 delays.
Yep, 13 delays.
Yep.
Which we actually don't use. They're turned off right now. When they first designed this building, it's kind of a funny story. They first designed this building. It was supposed to be it was supposed to be a full 280 degrees around the stage.
Oh.
And so our architect was like, no, let's not do that. And so they brought the sides in and brought the back in a little bit, and they didn't tell our design firm when they did that. So we're like, here's this PA, we gotta hang it. And so they just did the best they could. But the PA is plenty enough to, like, the top 2 or 3 boxes, like, fill. We've had it retuned, since then. So they just use those top 3 to fill the whole top area.
Yep.
Coverage.
So now the delay speakers are just ornaments.
There's ornaments. We've contemplated, like, turning them around to do some surround stuff. We're like, nah, that's lame. We're not doing that. It's too much work, So they're up there. They're hard to get. We would have taken them down, but they're really hard to get to because that's all fixed seating, and it's all stairs.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Man. And then these are they JBL amps too, or what's?
It's all Crown, so it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same family.
Got it.
All the processing is built into the amps.
Let's go. Can we go see the audio rack world?
Absolutely.
Such a nice backstage area, loading dock.
Yeah, we're loading dock, and our shop's right through there, so we just push stuff straight through.
Yeah.
It's a truck height dock, so
nice.
Makes it really easy for, like, freight deliveries and stuff like that.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, so
pretty.
This is our very colorful rack room. This is.
So these are.
Yeah, so those are all the all the amps for the main PA system for the main arrays.
Okay.
This is all of the subs.
Yep.
And the front fills.
Yep.
And all the lobby stuff's done through here too.
Okay. All right, let's go through the tour. Mac Studio?
Yep, my Mac Studio is our tracks rig. Right below that, it plugs the interface right below it, which is a Mode 2 24 IO. So we have 24 channels of tracks we can use if we wanted to. We're only using 16 right now.
Yep.
KVM goes side stage, so the worship pastor can set it up and control it with he has a loop pad on his keyboard.
Nice.
Below that is a guitar speaker emulator. All of our guitarists for the past 5 years have used emulator on their pedal. They've used Kempers so we haven't used that in a long time.
Yeah.
But in the one off chance that someone has a guitar cab, that will actually take, like, you can unplug their speaker and plug their speaker output. We can route it through our stage, and it gives us an XLR output to come to our console with.
Oh, cool.
Because our stage managers are so close, you have to have a quiet stage as much as possible. So guitar amps on the stage, or we used to have ISO boxes. We got rid of them because, once again, no one in the past 5 years has ever used an amp.
Yeah. The Palmer. That's the Palmer Musical Instruments emulator. Check that out.
Super cool. Sounds really good.
Yeah. So this is your DiGiCo.
Yep.
All your preamps.
Yep. These are our 2 DiGiCo stage boxes.
Oh, okay, there and there. Yeah. Wow.
Lots of inputs, lots of outputs.
Lots of tie lines here.
Lots of tie lines. Yeah, we have those are all of our tie lines to the stage. So anywhere that a musician wants to, anywhere that Kevin usually tells me, like, where he wants the positions to be for camera position, lighting, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So I just move around and plop them into a stage box wherever.
Yep.
Super useful.
Yep.
So
this is, yeah, they're almost, there's just almost a copy in each rack there.
Yeah, pretty much. We do have some of the stuff that we added later, after, like a couple years ago, after we, so we add our online ministry. So this is our cat snake. This goes actually out to our lobby. So our lobby has Cat 5 patch panels, but no audio. So all their wireless is actually out there in their online studio, and that's how we get it back to the racks, is through that cat patch.
Oh, cool.
On this side is our RF rack, plus our networking rack. We have, most of our stuff is our mics are all Axient. We have 16 channels of Axient, and then we have 4 channels that we use the ULX or QLX D4s for guitar packs.
Yep.
So all of our acoustic guitars are on these guys.
Yep. So you've got 4, 8, 12, 16 of Axient, 4 QLX. Then you get all the
16 channels of stereo in-ears.
Yeah, the PSM 1000s.
Yep. Yeah, these are pretty new to us. We used to be a Sennheiser. We used to have the old G3s.
Yeah.
They stopped servicing them, manufacturing them. So we want so this is all connected to wireless workbench. So that was just an easy decision for us to go Shure. So it's super easy for us to deploy frequencies, that kind of thing. We can manage all the wireless. We do have ShowLink too with all of our Axient stuff, which ShowLink basically monitors all of our RF. Yeah. So if, like, let's say the pastor's mic was starting to, like, the signal was starting to get interrupted by something, wireless workbench actually keeps a list of backup frequencies, and so ShowLink will automatically push that frequency out to the pack and change the receiver at the same time without audio drop.
Oh wow.
It's pretty cool.
Jeez.
Yeah, super neat.
Wow. Yeah, so this is 3 racks just for audio world. Amps, IO, RF. Love it. What's this one?
That is lighting stuff. It's a lot more boring.
Is it like Lintech and stuff? Like the circuits and breakers and relays?
So there's an audio Lintech panel.
So a little bit of lighting storage, some broken fixtures, some stuff, and then lighting network here. We use pathports, and so basically it's like a DMX gateway, over network type stuff, and so that's where that comes into here. And then this is the chroma key control stuff for the house lights that we talked about out there. And then behind us is all power stuff. And then these are actually power inverters over here on the left, these Philips for the house lights.
Okay, got it.
A couple other things, but mainly the house lights, So.
You think this is boring, but I like this stuff because this is the fun stuff.
At the end of the day, this is one of the most important rooms, I guess. So.
Yeah, because these which is it, the LRP? I think that's the model of the Lintech, which it can take in DMX.
Right.
And you've got all your
panels,
these are probably the motorized circuits,
right.
Or these are these are the motorized circuits that are in here. So the very boring, but very important, very expensive stuff.
That's right.
So.
Yep.
Cool. So this is where this is basically where we just charge all of our stuff. All of our stuff is rechargeable, has batteries. Our old wireless system used to be the UFHR stuff. We have to change batteries out almost between every service. And that was costing almost as much money per year as just to get rechargeable stuff. Yeah. So what's really cool about it, once again, it's on the network too. So Wireless Workbench can show me the battery charge levels, battery health as they're charging, that kind of thing. They're all built in. We just slide them in there. And those.
What are these guys?
So those are for our head pastor's pack. Okay. So he wears 2. He has a double headset. Uh-huh. So he wears 2 micro packs so it don't weigh him down as much because the other ones are pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And so those are for his little micro packs.
Is this for the worship leader?
That is, and he has a talkback.
Well, yeah, the talkback built into the Axient because basically it will output 2 channels, or
Yeah.
how's that? Does the Axient, does the receiver have more than 4 outputs?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So the cool thing about the Axient is it has the 4 XLR outputs like a normal. It has a different 1/4-inch output.
Yep.
And also has Dante built in.
Yeah.
So you can tell it which in Workbench if you want the button pressed to go to either the Dante output, the XLR output, or the 1/4-inch output.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
pretty neat. We actually have 2 of those. So that's our worship pastor, and our host.
this way with the label in the front.
Yep.
Who would have thought?
And our host actually has the same thing, but it is a different version. It's right here under his. So he can, if our host is side stage, like he needs to talk to Kevin. This is what this button's for. He can do like this, and it cuts him out the PA and talks directly to Kevin's comm set.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
if something happens, where he's like, "Hey, can you put my notes up real quick or something?"
Yeah.
You know,
that's
he can
cool.
do that.
Yeah.
So this top one's basically storage.
Yep.
All of our extra capsules, grills, body packs, and then there's a bunch of random stuff, extra batteries. That's our DI drawer. Keep all of our DI boxes.
DI drawer. Everybody needs a DI drawer.
It's 1/4 inches for our band. Extra mics, which I don't use anymore, and that's a rat's nest of XLR cables. Same thing. That's a bunch of power and a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah, but toolbox. Yeah. What do you got in the bigger compartments?
So in the bigger compartment, I have
Stands.
the stands and the shelves of shame.
That's a great idea. I love that. having a big tool like the stands thing. Yep. Stands always like you don't know where the heck you're gonna put them.
Yeah, so these are all the extra ones. We keep the ones out for our vocalists that use them. And so they know that they're here all the time. They grab them, they put them back sometimes. And we have all of our guitar stands over here too for all of our guitarists.
Like little headphones, or what do they keep here?
Yep. So we take care of charging everything, and then everybody gets a label for every weekend, and we put their in-ear packs, mics.
Oh, okay, cool.
The bass has a pack, acoustics have a pack, that kind of thing. So they all go in there.
So they don't even have to mess with the charging docks. They just find their name.
They find their name, and that's what they use.
It's a smart system.
And they like it. I was trying to go to a mic board and just like line it up and be really cool. But they like having the cubby to put their in-ear container in, or their sunglasses or whatever. That's their little cubby they keep their stuff in. So.
Yep. That's a great idea.
Yep.
All right. So for our pastor, we have a couple, maybe a little bit unique things that we do with him / for him to help him, kind of be comfortable, but also have some redundancy. So first thing, audio-wise, he wears 2 packs and wears a mic that has 2 elements. So these are the Shure micro packs, just a lot lighter, especially if you're wearing 2. It's a lot easier.
I love how small those are.
They're tiny, yeah.
Man.
No antenna, external antenna either. Like it's pretty crazy, yeah. They're really, really small, but they're awesome. And then this is the what is it, CO2 8WD or something like that. One of the, I can't remember the exact model, but it's got a double, a point source double element on it. And so, especially Marcus, our lead pastor, he's got a pretty bushy beard, going on here, so it kind of blends in pretty well with that.
Okay, so because you've got the 2 outputs here that go to each of the pack.
That's right.
And then, wait, what was the manufacturer?
This is point source.
Oh, point source is the actual brand. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's a point source headset. They make it like this. Yeah, this is what they make it for. And so the idea, it's not like stereo. It's not left right.
Yeah.
It's redundancy. You have a primary and a backup. And so, like we all know, like the worst feeling in the world is your pastor comes out and his mic starts popping or whatever. It's the worst.
Yep.
And so, if that happens, say maybe one of these connections is loose or there's an issue with the cable or whatever, Matt can just switch over. He's got actually like a macro on his desk that switches the pastor backup like that. Yep. Same settings, EQ, all that kind of stuff. Yep. And so that's what that's for. The sermon is the most important part of what we do, and so having that redundancy is like great peace of mind.
Well, especially when you're broadcasting the same message to all the campuses, right?
That's right. Yep.
So there is a lot more at stake if you just have one point of failure here.
Right.
And that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. So that's super important for us. I mentioned Marcus. So prior to Marcus, our lead pastor Cam Huxford was here for 40 years. Just amazing. God used him to build this church to what it is, you know? Yeah. And so end of 2024, Marcus came on as our new lead pastor, and he's a teacher, you know, and so he likes to notate and draw and write and those kinds of things. And so we kind of worked with him to figure out a system that would work to where he could actually do that live as he's preaching. So we came up with this system here. So I'll walk through, let me get this set up here. So I'll walk through a couple things. So we came up with this system to where he can notate and stuff like that. So he uses an iPad. He uses an Apple Pencil. I don't have a pencil with me right now, so I'll just use my finger. But we use Keynote. First off, that's the presentation software. And then that allows him to notate and stuff. But what's cool about this is how this is ending up in our video system. So we use something called the Air Server, which is basically like a fancy Apple TV. And so this is actually screen mirroring. It's casting to the Air Server, which the Air Server can go HDMI out into converters and stuff into our video system. And so Colby in Video World is actually able to DVE key part of you know, what we're seeing here. And so he's actually going to work on pulling that up for us in program here in a second. But the idea is the right half of the screen of his iPad is public. That's what goes out to the world. The left little third here is his own personal notes. So Marcus memorizes his messages, but not necessarily word for word. He's got notes here, little bullets and pointers and things to help him remember certain things. But when he gets to scripture or an image or wants to notate or whatever, he goes here, and then now he can, you know, using his pencil or using finger, you know, he can circle and underline and, you know, draw smiley faces and whatever else that, you know, he wanted to do. And so that's the idea, yeah, where the left portion is private, it's his notes, it helps him remember what's coming up next or whatever. The right side is what goes out to our program feed.
That's crazy, because like you said, Colby sees the whole thing
That's
coming
right.
in, and he just keys out that one side.
Exactly, yeah, he keys out that left chunk, which, yeah, he's got up in program now.
How reliable has the Air Server situation been? Has it?
Knock on wood, 100% reliable.
Wow, that's
We've never
impressive.
had any dropouts.
As long as the network is
Yeah, so
fine.
the Air Server can do two different things. It can be on your network,
Uh-huh.
so which is how we have it, because it's actually in the video racks back there. It can also put out its own like private network. So if you're taking it portable or whatever, you can have the Air Server with you on platform or whatever, and it can connect direct to that. So we've got it on our production network, which is great. So yeah, that's his setup here, which is awesome. And then the last part of his setup is this little multi-view floor monitor down here. And so there's 4 different things that he can see. Obviously, top left is his timers, his clock. Not just him, anyone who's up here on the platform, they can see their clock. Top right is a direct feed of this iPad, as you can see, and so not keyed out or anything. You can just see that's mainly to see if it's connected to the Air Server, because if it's not, there's color bars, and so that way he can verify that he's connected. Bottom left is a video countdown, so anytime he's coming out of a video, or anyone on platforms coming out of a video, they can see how much time is left in the video. And then bottom right is just stage messages, and so look at that.
Yeah.
Put a stage message. So if there's something that
Nice.
that we need to communicate to him or to anybody, we can send a message there. So that's what that is. And then the other thing that's important to Marcus is the center conference that's right back there. So Marcus likes to see what's on program behind him without having to turn and look at what's behind him. So he can see if his slides are up. He can see, you know, video that's before him, whatever. That way he doesn't have to turn around. And then also, we sometimes change that center conference to be more of a teleprompter style for other communicators. Hosting moments, one of our other actual teaching pastors uses somewhat of a teleprompter setup, so we change the input to that TV, but most of the time it's on program. So yeah, the Air Server down there, you can see it has tallies. That's what the red box is, so that way he knows that's when it's live. He can either look, obviously, at that TV or look down there.
How does he just connects to it, or do you have it all connected for him by the time he gets up here?
No, he does it. He does it all. He's pretty tech savvy. He does it all himself. And the other thing I should have mentioned, this means that he controls his slides, you know? So he's the one advancing his slides at his timing. And so it's a little bit of a dance, you know, because we're back there watching. Colby and myself are watching. When is he advancing? Or one of our biggest cues is when does he grab the pencil? You know, he's about to write, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's really cool because he controls the timing of his slides, you know? So one thing that we talked about redundancy with the mics. I always export this straight from his iPad, just as, you know, JPEGs out of Keynote, and put it in our ProPresenter machine. That way, if something happens, if this does crash, if he does lose connection, we're not totally screwed with no slides.
Okay.
We can switch that key setup there. Colby can change the input from the air server to our CG. That way we can at least have scripture. Obviously you can't write on it, but we always have that backup as well. So pretty much everything sermon related, we try to make redundant. That way, just in case, we're covered.
Got it. So the stack one more time is solid network, an iPad Pro probably.
Any device. The air server can connect to anything, but yes.
iPad, Apple or Android too?
Yeah,
It does,
you
it
can
does
stream
both.
mirror to the air
so
server. Yep.
A device, Keynote on that here particular, or it could be whatever presentation software, it could be Canva, whatever they want, right? But this Keynote is the reason because it does the drawing feature easily.
Exactly, yeah.
And then the air server itself, which is just a unit that can live in an equipment rack.
Yep.
And then it has a video SD. Does it have SDI outs?
HDMI outs.
That goes into your video system, but then you need all the video infrastructure to route all the video, get it to the displays it needs to go. You guys have a nice advanced video system, which we'll dive into later, which gives you all the multi-view capability.
Right. And the ability to key it as well. That's important for how we've got it set up here, with that split view.
Yeah, exactly. So it is it seems like you can start with a simple setup with this solution, but if you have a more robust network and video infrastructure, it can get as advanced as what we see here.
That's right,
So, just so I'm sure a lot of lead pastors will see this. And
Yeah.
this looks simple, but there is quite a bit of advanced infrastructure they have behind the scenes to make the output of it really powerful.
That's fair.
So only a couple 6 figures in there.
Yeah. The air server that's like $900. So
exactly. Well,
bad.
That's a very accessible solution. And again, you can start off with that, but to make it as slick as what you guys have, it requires some more backend.
Exactly. And then the all-important fan. It's off right now, but it's on a DMX dimmer.
Okay.
So when Marcus is up here sweating, the fan is on, helps keep the sweat down. No,
Nice.
just kidding. But that's pretty much the setup.
That's a very important little thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it gets hot up here. So try to. He's up here for 35, 40 minutes. So, but I think that's pretty much all of the pastor setup up here.
Yep. What the little POV camera on the front? What's that?
That's for ASL, for sign language. So in our 11 o'clock service on Sundays, there's a sign language interpreter that has a seat that they put right there. And so they get a separate
which is why it's all marked off for that section.
Right,
there,
exactly. Yeah, they get a separate stream feed essentially. That's like a picture-in-picture, program feed plus the ASL translator feed for. Again, it's a small group that kind of streams that online. So that's what that's for.
Yep. While we're here, I'm seeing all the catwalks you guys have too. That's great.
Yeah. If you want, I'm sure Colby will take you up there.
I'm good.
It is quite the network of catwalks. It goes super wide. You can see it out there. But those are all the front lights. Like I said, we have a ton of the Source 4s, but
Oh yeah. When do you guys just turn those on?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, with your phone? Nice. Wow.
You didn't talk about Hazer.
Oh yeah.
Nope. We don't use it. I'm just kidding.
What are you talking about?
It's just muted.
Yeah, it's just that fog. We just capture it and bring it in. No, it's MDG ATM E, right? That's the new model, the E. That's the Hazer, and you can kind of see the tube, like the black tube that's running along.
Yeah, I see that.
Yep. So the Hazer's actually over here on the right, the purple, and it's got an inline fan that is connected to this tube, and in the tube there's a scattered bunch of little holes that we poked through. Yep. Again, that's a Matt and Colby invention. Took a lot of trial and error, but it helps just more even dissipation of the haze, and it's worked really, really well.
Matt, let's do a miking walk through your drum set here.
Sweet. Yeah. So this it's a lugwood kit. We're the one came us with a lugwood kit because I specifically asked for it because I think they sound really good. So snare, we have the traditional bootleg 57 that's taped to it because it's good. We also have a Shure SM81 on the bottom mic for the snare. The two, the rack tom and the first floor tom, those are both Earthworks microphones. I think the model's DM20s. And then on the third tom we have a Sennheiser that picks us up a little because it's such a big floor tom. It picks up a little bit better. All the toms have triggers on them that we use for gating. They're not samples, they're just gates because those Earthworks mics are so sensitive that if I didn't have a trigger, the gates would just be open all the time because they're such a high volume mic. They do sound really good. We have 214s for the overheads. Those sound amazing. They give a really good just image of the whole kit. And then the only other one we have a hi-hat mic, which I believe it's either a Rode or it's a, I can't remember what that one is. It might be a Sennheiser. It's a little Sennheiser pencil.
Yeah, I can't see.
It's a Sennheiser. We'll call it Sennheiser.
Yep.
And we also have another Shure pencil condenser under the ride, just to get that really high, like ting 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 from the ride cymbal. It's back up under there.
Oh yeah. Yep, right there.
In our kick, we have the inside. We have a Shure Beta 91A and a Sennheiser in the port.
Nice.
And the cool thing about that I try to do with this kit is since we have the Gosselin drum shield around the front, it sits so tight in there with the shield that I didn't want a bunch of stands. So the only stands we have are actually the 2 overhead stands. Everything else is attached to the drum itself, or it's attached to the tom rack.
Yeah, that's cool. I like how clean that is.
And so also that's a really good idea if like we have volunteer drummers that change every week, so they like to reposition the kit to fit them a little bit better. So that way I don't have to come up here every week and move stands around. Yeah. They just move the drum and it moves with them. So that's pretty cool. We also have an SPD to your left that they use during like padding moments. So they'll underscore a pass-through with the keyboard and a couple light pads and clicks and stuff. And we also have a drum talk bag. It's right behind you. They spin around and there's a foot pedal by your right for your left foot. They can.
Oh yeah, the rolls
tap
pedal.
that in, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, just got some sub snakes for all your mics.
Yep. We try to keep, because we broadcast everything. We try to keep everything super clean. Yeah. So everything we try to loom to keep together as neat as possible. So there's not a bunch of cables running everywhere.
What is this big old red thing?
So
Tube direct box.
This is our bass rig, and that's a tube DI. That's the RED DI.
Yeah.
Or Ready. So it's just a tube, like it's a little bit dirtier signal. I get 2 inputs from the bass. It's just a direct radio clean DI, and then the warm tube sound that I blend together. Yeah. And they actually use, we have for all our bass players, we have the Shure wireless tuner pedal. Yep. So it's the GLX. They'll have the pack. So once again, like during sermon time, they just wear their guitar out here and they can walk off the stage. There's no, stands up here. There's no guitars on the stage during sermon, that kind of thing. Yep.
Keyboard. This is a nice.
Yeah, we
setup.
just got this one.
Oh, nice.
All of our canvases just switched over to this keyboard.
Yep.
This is where our worship pastor leads worship from every week. Mm-hmm. So he's a keys player. And she also fires his tracks from here. That we only had this about 2 weeks in Nord's, brand new. So we got to figure out a solution to get his pad to fit better. So sometimes it hits, but we're working on that.
Oh, like what if you just put some Velcro here?
Yeah, we're thinking like Velcro or like 3D printing a shelf that sticks out or holds it up above.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really use the.
Because he's triggering the songs from here.
Yeah, he's triggering Ableton from here.
Okay, got it.
Yep. Which is another thing we did. So we also during rehearsal, he likes to face the band during rehearsal. Mm-hmm. So this whole keyboard setup is all loomed together. It's all connected. So power, signal, plus we have a KVM that actually runs this trackpad to our tracks machine.
Yeah, I see your extender right here.
Yep.
And you got your DI box, and then you get power. Yeah.
And so it used to have a really old Yamaha motif that weighed like 75 pounds. Mm-hmm. And so I got really tired of carrying that stupid thing around. Yeah. So I got this thing with the keyboard stand with the wheels. Yeah. So I can unlock them and just roll it off the stage and roll it back. And if he's not playing, it's a really quick like disconnect.
That is so clean.
And it goes away.
Because I was even I was thinking about that for my own church of like, man, if we have someone who wants to lead worship from the front with keys, how do you like have it just get out of the way quick, easily? Especially with a small stage. And
he was actually not here this weekend. He was out of town this weekend, so we had another keys player play. And so because she's not leading, she's not singing like vocals, we just rolled it back there and locked it again. You know. Yep. It's all ready to go. It's, excess lives there, goes to that floor box.
Yep. You have all these floor boxes that went back to those tie lines and patch bays. Nice. Monitor outputs too, if you want floor wedges, network.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool things. When they built these floor boxes back 10 years ago, we did have a bunch of guitar players that, like I said, like to have amps. So they actually wired them reverse. So that's there's an NL4 in that monitor connection. So the first two go to an amp, and the other two come back to the Palmer DI box. So we can just plug a guitar amp and go both directions. And they crosswire it so you can never like double patch it and blow something up.
Yep.
It's pretty nifty.
Cool. Are all your trusses and stuff on motors or
Most of them are.
Yeah. Well, you have all the catwalks anyway.
Yeah. So two of them are on motors. The whole LED wall truss is on motors, so we can adjust it if we want to. Nice. The back truss with all with the most lights in it, and this the two light heavy trusses are on 1-ton motors.
The restaurant just manual chain hoist.
Wow.
Take a minute to get a workout, bringing them up and down.
Yeah.
This is a Unilumen LED wall. So these are the URM3 panels. This is a 2.6 millimeter wall. This is our 6 Unilumen wall, and we've been really happy with the results here. These are 500 by 500 mil panels, so they're the square ones. I prefer square over rectangle because they're a lot easier to do different configurations. You're not restricted to kind of the rectangles. This is our biggest configuration. This is all the panels we have put together. In the future, we're going to consider like spacing them out, doing columns, stuff like this. So there's a lot of flexibility. This is flown with 4 2-ton motors. And so we can take it up or down or spread it out how we see fit. So signal flow, we're using a Novastar MX2000 Pro for the processor. And so that gets HDMI in from our media server, the green Hippo that Kevin was talking about. And so that goes HDMI in, it's sending 4K into the processor. Because this is technically a 5K wide canvas, so I think the resolution's 5760 by 1728, so it's pretty large canvas size, especially when you get 2.6 millimeter pixel. It's a lot of data that's required for that. So that has 3 strands of fiber that come through our ceiling and drop to the back of the wall. And then on the back of the wall, we have a Novastar fiber converter. We have 3 of those, which gives us 10 like RJ45 outputs. So there's 30 data ins on this wall just for this alone. So this configuration, it's 30 panels wide by 9 panels high.
Okay. Which feet? What is it?
50 feet wide, and I think it's 16 or 17 feet high. Yeah, and it weighs about, I think it's 4,500 pounds, not including rigging.
Wow. Yeah. That's actually lighter than I would have thought. Yeah. It's not bad. And the side screens?
These are, so this is new. We've had it for a couple weeks at this point. This was done with the original install of the building, so it's coming up on 10 years old. We don't have any extra spare modules to replace, so if something goes out, we're gonna be out of luck and have to go ship it off and get it repaired. It's aged pretty well. The main difference between this and our center wall, our center wall will do a true black. Like if the image is black, the pixels are basically off. Whereas this one, it's not totally black. You can even see like there's a little slither on the bottom of the wall and the top of the wall because they're trying to crop it to an exact 16 by 9. Okay. Matt, what is this wall? The panels? ASIN. Yeah.
Apsin?
It's not Apsin.
ASIN.
ASIN.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is really not like our center wall is like a touring wall style where we can keep it very simple and break it up. This one's kind of more of a permanent install, but it is flown from truss in our ceiling.
Yep. Then the other displays, you've got your confidence monitors.
Yep, so we have a lot of confidence monitors, 4, 5, 6 of them. The ones above all of the door are mainly from CG2, so those are mainly running lyrics, so you can see the current and upcoming slide. And then in the center, like Kevin said, this is a program monitor, particularly for our lead pastor who prefers that. And then we've got the bottom one, which is a multi-view from one of our video switchers that has a 4-box, specifically for the communicators.
Love it. Okay. Well, when we're in the room, we talk about videos, we can start from the source at cameras. Do you want to start on that side of it, and then we'll make it back? So
let's start with camera 1 and 2.
Yep, let's go. All right.
So with this, like starting off, we did the platform. So we had a volunteer make this from scratch. And we were kind of strategic. We had a couple requirements. The height-wise is specific to match similar height to the stage and get the operator at a comfortable level. And then we added stairs for convenience and cool LED
the little lights.
And stuff. You can see though that the tripods are actually not really tripods. There's no like leg spreading or anything.
Yeah.
They go straight through a hole into the concrete slab, so that there's no real vibration, low in frequency subs. There's nothing really rattling there.
Yeah.
And then if you're the camera operators on the platform, they're totally isolated from the actual pedestal because they can't transfer the energy or the movement there, which is really great. So starting with, this is camera 1 over here.
Yeah.
We've got the Savvy pole. So these are both Savvy poles. There's actually a crank under the platform, so I can crank it up and raise the camera up or down. I think it's like plus or minus a foot. We're not really doing that. We could. I have it kind of matched and we kind of set and forget it. But like when install, if we wanted to go up a little bit, we can easily do that. So both of these guys do that. All of our cameras are RED Komodo-X's. So that would be the camera body right here. And then we have the RED IO module. The main thing we're using that gives us is genlock. So all of our cameras are genlocked together with our video switcher and the LED wall, so everything has the same starting frame and there's no like sync issues there. So the camera body, the IO module, and then back here is the fiber back. So all of our wired cameras are using MultiDyne silverbacks. And what this does is instead of having a huge loom of SDI out and genlock in and data cable and tally and intercom, it's all coming through this one single fiber cable, which our floor pockets under here have fiber going back to our rack rooms.
Whoa.
And then back here we're using the RED small HD monitor, which is really great because it gives you all control of the camera settings. So I can easily change frame rate or the ISO right here. These are remotely controlled from the control room as far as settings, so the volunteer is really not operating it, but they have the control if they need to. And then
So nice.
we use Canon for our lens and lens control, so they have the zoom and focus here.
Oh yeah.
And they can adjust the speed and stuff like that. And then they have the the focus demand on the left hand.
Yeah, that is so nice. Oh, it's so smooth. And
You
it
can
was
get
the
pretty
Canon
close,
glass.
yeah.
Oh man, that's ridiculous.
So we have focus peaking turned on most of these monitors, and it's like an operator preference. So if you pull and focus here other way, you'll see it start glowing green, so the operator knows they're in focus.
Oh, that's great.
As well as this is the border around the monitor is glowing green, which means the camera is in preview. Camera 2, which is actually live right now, you can see on this one, it's glowing red, so that the operator has preview and program tally. As well as on the front of the lens, there's a physical tally light on both sides so that the person on stage can see which camera is live at what time. So we have tally in the monitor for the operator and then tally on the lens for the person on stage.
Big boy lens here.
That's
50,
right.
50 to 1,000.
This is definitely a really nice lens. We're about 45 feet away from the stage. When we were shopping for lenses and trying to figure out what the best situation is, I knew I wanted to go Canon. I just love Canon, the way it looks, the feel. It's definitely one of the nicest lenses on the market that's offered. And so 50 to 1,000 is our camera 1. This is our main like waist up follow of the worship leader or the pastor. And so I was willing to put a lot of energy and resources making sure we have a really great camera 1. And it also has an extender on the lens, so I can actually get to 1,500 millimeters, which is like right here on stage. We don't ever use that because you lose a stop of light, but we have that ability if our pastor.
Oh, that's why it got darker when I was like.
Yeah, once you ramp to the end of the lens, it will close the iris a little bit. But if our pastor has like a prop or something and we need to like punch in, we have the ability to do that, which is really great. So yeah, and then on this side we have a Cyanview RIO. So like obviously we have the cinema bodies, they're really not made for like live broadcast. So this is a great little device that kind of bridges taking the amazing image that this camera can produce, but give us like live production abilities, which would be camera control, tally, stuff like that. So this literally just connects to our network. It's going through the fiber back for that connection. But this lets us shade the camera and the lens, and it's also what connects to this tally light. And that's just all basically over the network.
So the unit, this is like Summit just made their own little case
Right,
here,
they 3D
and then-
printed the
Okay,
case
so
for
it's
it.
this little unit about the size of like a converter or something
Right, like a
that.
Blackmagic SC
Yeah.
converter or something.
So then you're saying, like, when you're adjusting exposure color on the camera, it's not using the just the RED control interface, or
We can do both. So we actually have a Cyanview RCP, so we have physical like controller. We can shade the lens, increase
okay.
ISO. Basically
Wow.
any setting in the camera we can remotely control through Cyanview.
yeah,
or
which
the RED
feels like your
control app.
traditional broadcast
Right,
controllers. right?
exactly.
You
Yeah,
got-
so we'll have a
okay.
shader that can physically control all of our
But the
cameras.
way, if you don't want to get those, you could just like remotely control the cameras with the app that Red has.
Right, either over like the Wi-Fi antenna or the USB out. Literally, this USB out goes straight into this RIO. That's how it gets the control from the camera,
Oh.
and then it just hits
Because
the network
these,
that way.
wait, so these cables are going into the camera? Or what are these?
So this USB is what's converting to this USB-C for camera control. And then this is network, and then one of these is power for the device, one is for lens control, and then the last one's for the tally light. And this is the Cyanview branded
Oh, because
tally
you can
light.
control the lens from broadcast too.
Right. Yeah, so it's basically two independent things. You have the lens, and then you have the camera.
Wow.
We could actually, I can zoom and focus all the lenses remotely through the RCP. The issue with that is it takes the controls away from this. So the camera can only either have the controls from the operator or from the control room. So we have that feature turned off, but that's something that we can
That
definitely
looks
do.
so good.
Yeah, and you can see this is now glowing yellow, which means on the video switcher, this source is in preview and in program. So the operator can determine, like, are they in preview, are they in program, are they in both? And what's really great is if, say, camera 1 is live online, but camera 2 is live on broadcast, or sorry, camera 1's live like on iMag and camera 2's on broadcast or online, they both show that they're red.
Yeah,
So that if this camera is live anywhere, the tally is gonna detect that source.
Yeah. Wow.
And then
How do you guys handle any latency challenges with iMag with this? Like,
So I could shrink the amount of latency by like going direct, skipping the router and stuff. To me, it sacrifices a little bit of the flexibility of our system. So it's just something we deal with. Having stuff genlocked will kind of shrink down the amount of latency there. But yeah, try to like get the cleanest signal path from camera out to the video router and switcher and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you're running at 5994 for frame rate.
Yeah, so our entire video system is backed on 5994 1080p, but we're able to actually do a mock 24, which I do for worship. So I'll switch between 24 and 5994.
Yep.
Yep. And then Intercom with the MultiDyne FiberBacks. This is also handling Intercom. So we can actually send 2 channels of Intercom plus program audio, and so they can talk and increase their volume on this side, but then the operator, their headset's just right here, so they can listen and talk.
So, MultiDyne, explain that to me more. That's how these fiber connections are happening. Is there like a server for it somewhere that like handles all that?
There's a base station in the rack. So this literally just connects from this fiber, goes from the fiber back to the base station. And it's really just converting all these connections over fiber. That's really all it's doing.
And on the same thing on the other end.
Right.
So you have like your ClearCom, like you have audio feeds to take audio, video, data, anything.
Yeah, everything.
And it's just really just the purpose of like all of that I/O, putting it over fiber.
One cable, right.
Wow. Do you think a lot of churches now should consider, when you're doing design of a new space, like just what if you just made sure you had the fiber run, and then, but also, I haven't even looked into the cost of that much, like, you know, I guess as long as the conduit's there.
Right.
That at the very least.
That's
so
the
then
most
later down the
expensive part,
road,
yeah.
you can just run, but the cable itself, I mean, it's not that, I'm sure the MultiDyne stuff is expensive, but like the fiber cables, like, they're not super unreasonable.
Depending on the type, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, what type do you have?
These are, I don't actually remember the brand or the connector. Can you see, what does it say?
Well, it's a Neutrik connector.
Yeah.
So Neutrik makes the connectors.
And I could take this
Yeah,
out
and
and
that
just put
looks
a
like it's-
regular,
Yeah.
I could just swap it for like a regular like $20 Amazon LC single mode fiber cable and
Yeah.
do the exact
But
same
it's the
thing.
terminating of fiber cables that's like the pain. have all the tools for that. But okay, but that helps me understand. It's like now, because there's so much data going to and from these cameras, if you just get a fiber line, your cable management's going to be like
One
incredible.
cable.
So it's literally it's one cable from the station.
So it goes into this loom, which is actually 2 cables, one for power, because we're powering these locally, and then which power goes into the MultiDyne, and the MultiDyne feeds power to the rest of it.
Oh, wow.
Which you can actually do power over the fiber, but in our situation, our floor boxes are not wired for that, so we're having to inject power with this D-tap right here. But yeah, and then for the fluid head, we are on the Venton. This is their new tripod, the fluid head they just released, which is really great. It has a lot of control as far as like perfect balance, and I mean, as you saw, it's like very smooth and very fluid and stuff. Yeah. And this camera is quite heavy, so having something that can
it's so easy.
That,
it's so easy to move around and like.
Yeah, you're unlocked.
Yeah, that's so great. Very simple to follow. Even when you're like trying to keep focus as you zoom in and out, it's not that difficult. With the focus demand is so good and smooth, and the zoom demand. So if I go all the way, just keep it right there for now.
That's right. So, and I tell my camera ops, don't like, a lot of people tend to, when they first do it, they try to like over grip and like power. It's really just like your fingertips, very small, minute movements. Yeah. And I try to rest my elbows on the armrests of the chairs.
Yep. Wow. So this camera, that camera's a replica, except for the lens.
Right.
That's
so
a wider lens.
The only difference for this is the Canon, the 25 to 250. So whereas this is our main like waist up or tight shot, this is more of our like head to toe during hosting moments, or it is kind of like a secondary, like if somebody's not leading the song, I'll have to grab the other, like another vocalist or something like this. Where this job of this camera is like follow the main person. Yep. This is our only other camera that's dead center of the room, so occasionally I'll have it do like a wide shot pushing in, so you can see like content on the LED wall.
Oh, that's cool.
And stuff like that.
I didn't even notice how we're kind of offset.
Right. Yeah, these split center. But yeah, these are basically the same build package. The only difference being the lens.
And then just the Marshalls just for your...
Right. This is for internal review. So we record at all of our campuses. We just record a wide shot of the stage with embedded program audio, and it just hits a cloud and saves on like the Resi platform. So we're not actually using this publicly for anybody to view the service.
Yep. All right, that's camera 1 and 2. Yep. Where's the next ones?
Camera 3, which is the camera goat.
Goat. Why do they call it a goat?
I don't know. Gotta ask the camera goat guy. So this is very similar to camera 1 and 2. Very similar build package. So you have the same camera, the I/O module, the fiber back, the monitor. The only difference being the lens. This is a Canon 17 to 120, so it's even wider. This is the widest lens we have in this building.
Oh wow! How do we unlock this?
Pull it towards you.
That one. Okay.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool.
And you see now you're in program, so your tally lit up.
Gotta get my side walking exercise in.
It definitely takes the volunteer a couple of minutes to get comfortable and learn how to like step your feet so that you can keep the shot steady. But it gives us a lot of like really wide dynamic shots, especially with people right in front with their hands lifted up. You get a really great like depth of field between the people in the room and what's happening on stage.
Cool.
And then next would be camera 4.
Is the goat the stand?
So Camera Goat is the company. I don't know the exact model, but basically they're all the same thing. It provides you the sled that the camera is riding on.
Okay.
These poles and the supports.
Yeah.
And then all we did was our integrator provided the, I think it's like Schedule 40 or something, just standard pipe that clamps into it.
Yeah.
And so that's literally how it goes together, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. Simple setup.
While we're walking by this, this is just a Marshall that I have on a mic stand. And so this is recording our ASL live stream. So the ASL, the sign language interpreter, will sit here. and they have people physically here, so it kind of makes more sense why they're here. But we record a PIP where it's this camera in one box, and the other box is the program cut for the couple people that watch that online. And that's not like something we publicly stream. You have to get the code privately from the group when you get connected and stuff like that. So that's one of the resources we use there.
Just looking at these stage pockets here.
Yep, so we have pretty much all over the room, the floor, the stage, in the upper bowl, lots of floor pockets everywhere, which is like, if I'm gonna spend money, I'm gonna spend money in infrastructure like this, because you can't, after the building's done, you can't really go back and re-add floor pockets.
Yeah, which,
easily.
being a 10-year-old space, you already had good infrastructure here, so when you did all the camera upgrades, was it fairly straightforward for them to?
We had to do no real infrastructure. It was just changing the actual camera itself.
Yep, and did you pull out a bunch of SDI cables that were
Nope,
running
they're
there?
still, we have still SDI in the floor pocket and fiber.
Nice. Nice.
Which you can look in this one if you want. This is.
But did they have to run a new fiber, like a
Nope.
fiber cable?
This was already here.
The fiber was there already?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So in this floor pocket, we have 3 SDI.
Yep.
2 network lines, a analog comm, which we don't actually use anymore, and then the fiber connection that you can see. This is called camera A, and then power.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So like all this infrastructure, this was done 10 years ago. We just installed new cameras, and we didn't have to change any of that.
Yeah, that is. I'll let you get up on there. That's really cool. Wow.
This is camera 4, so it's basically a copy of camera 3. The only difference being the lens. This is a Canon 18-80, so it's still a servo lens, but you just can't get quite as far, and it's a little bit tighter than the other. So, and this operator has retention really high. I'm gonna adjust that for you. What I love about this is it's at a really like sharp angle to the stage. So I have the operators kind of frame the stage on the left and the room on the right, so that you can kind of feel like the vast, large space that this is in.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. That's a cool shot.
And it's actually about half a foot lower than camera 3. Whereas if this were to be blocked by a person temporarily, it's not the end of the world. Where camera 3, it's kind of more important for me. So this one sits a little bit lower, and you feel even more like a part of the congregation worshiping. Stuff. So as the operator, they'll just be walking around side to side, and then they still have zoom and focus control like usual. Yep. And then so we have our baptistry here.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, we never really know. We usually have baptisms at least once per Sunday. We just never know. Like, we start a service, we don't know how many the total will be, or if somebody calls out or they get moved to the second service or something. So it's not like we can pre-plan these too well from a production standpoint. So when I was choosing the camera plot, trying to figure out where cameras were to go, I knew we always needed to have coverage of baptisms. So conveniently, this is kind of like a dual purpose. They're here for the service, and then typically baptisms are after or before the welcome. So this operator will just go to the end of the track, pan left, and then they have the baptism shot right here.
That's so cool.
So, which is really cool, because like as the person's being dunked, I have the operator kind of like truck back a little bit. So you kind of get this cool energy movement. And which I really love.
That's so cool.
Pretty fun.
That's a very well thought out camera plot. And those are those all the cameras down on the floor?
So
here?
this is camera 1 through 4, 5 and 6, so we can go backstage as our handhelds. Tyler's already here with camera 5. Let me see. So this is our handheld package. We have 2 of these. This is camera 5, and then camera 6 is over here. So a lot of the same components. We have the Komodo-X, and then for wireless, we're using Teradek Ranger. So it's all basically through V-mount. So I have one V-mount battery attached to the back, and then it passes power to the Teradek as well as to the camera. So the operator, they don't have a second battery for their monitor and for the Teradek and for the camera. It's literally just one V-mount. They take it out and pop a new one. And then for lens, this is also Canon. This is their new 70-200. This is the 2.8. It's a Z lens, so I could actually attach like a zoom like servo module. I don't have it on here, but that's something I could do. And then Ladybug. And then this is the same monitor as the other cameras. So they also have integrated tally through here, and it's totally wireless. So there's no external tally light or anything. It just pops up internally inside their monitor. That's so cool. And that's through this little antenna that comes with the Komodo already. This also gives us remote camera control. So I can shade this camera just like I can any other camera. all remotely over Wi-Fi. There's no external like gear required.
Wow, that's so cool.
And then, so we have 2 Teradeks, and we have 1 receiver on each side of the stage. And this is just duplicated for camera 6. So camera 5 is usually on the floor getting like side profiles of like vocalists, a lot of the backline, guitar, bass, keys. And then camera 6 is mainly living out by the drums, getting kind of like those high energy, like wraparound shots, stuff like that.
Yeah.
These cameras don't have intercom integrated, unlike the MultiDynes. So they're just using free-speak packs.
Okay.
So we have 15 packs stationed around the building. This set of 5 are mainly designed for camera operators.
Yeah.
So they have their pack and they'll just grab their headset here. And it's great. They have wireless intercom, wireless video, and wireless camera control.
So cool.
Up here, I have a multi-view built. So the stage manager that lives back here in cameras, as they're booting up, they can see like, hey, camera 5, it's showing no link. So I know the video director is not getting my signal. So let me check if there's an issue here, which is really great. So they can confirm that their camera's on before they get suited up and run out. And then they also can like see our master clock, see Henderson, an online program, which is really cool. These operators use easy rigs, so carrying this rig, I don't know if you want to hold it, but it can get a little heavy after like 30 minutes of it.
Yeah, that's heavy.
And
Jeez.
so there's this little ball mount, which Tyler's right here with the easy rig.
Oh yeah.
So it just snaps in, and then it just really takes the weight of the camera.
It's to get it?
Yeah, so technically you could let go and the camera will stay in place, but obviously I like to have people to keep their hand on it and
that's so
stuff like
cool.
that.
Because it's like still handheld feel. But
Exactly,
it's
but
like
it takes the weight from you.
Man.
Yep.
I like that a lot. Man.
And then let's go to camera 7.
Yes.
This is camera 7, so it is a dactyl cam. You can see we've got 2 sets of cables from the right side of the room that fly all the way to the other side. And so I can actually fly this over here, and you can see it's driving down the line. This is, so it's not like a 4-point system where it's like a Skycam that can fly anywhere in the space. It's just on this one line that goes back and forth.
Yeah.
But what really great is there's foot pedals down here, so if I press the left foot pedal, it will drive to the left, which frees my hands to actually control the camera.
Oh yeah, that's
So I'm
cool.
gonna turn the camera part on. You can see it snapped up. This is the console, so this is how I would like pan or tilt the camera. I can zoom, and I also have focus control.
Oh, wow.
So the operator really is just using their hands to control the actual camera. I can iris the camera as well. And then they're using their feet to drive the camera side to side. So as I go,
That's so cool.
I can zoom out.
It seems like Defy has come a ways along in the past couple of years with some of the. I've never seen these controls before.
You want to give it a shot?
Yeah, of course.
Let me get this.
That's such a dope
point.
shot.
Yeah. I can teach like a brand new operator. I can give them like a 5-minute explanation, and then they're really good to go.
It's just crazy how these wide shots make the room feel bigger than it is. I mean, it is a big room, but okay. So you're saying I need to do this?
Just like a regular sustain pedal. So I tell operators to have like constant pressure on the pedal and then just control with the joystick. And then this is your zoom right here. You really don't have to do too much with focus. Stop real quick. Let me in your. The cool thing about this is I can do digital end stops. So if you're not paying attention, you could easily drive this like right into the wall, which would not be great.
Oh gosh.
So as you first boot up the system, you just tell it where you want to end on the right, where you want to end on the left, and then on your foot pedals, when you press them, it will just gradually stop at that point. So it prevents the operator from running into the wall.
Is that like on the end? Does it like how do you charge and maintain stuff?
Yep.
Like,
So there's 2 ways. You can see the 2 batteries hanging underneath.
Yeah.
The traditional way would be you get on a ladder and you swap the batteries yourself.
Okay.
That's not really great in our situation because trying to do that every Sunday morning would kind of be a pain in the butt. But if you take your feet off the pedals, I'm going to turn this endpoint off, and you can see on the far right, there's a little kind of like a rectangle brick over there.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to drive these little prongs.
Is there a light on there that just turned on?
No, he's got it down there.
Oh, okay.
So it's got the little 2 prongs.
What's going on?
I'm going to drive it in the charger, and now it's charging.
Oh, and then it would do the other side too?
The charger's only on the one side.
Oh, okay.
So that will charge the entire rig.
Oh, nice.
So during the week, it's fully charged right now, but during the week, it would just dock in there, and then we pull it out on a Sunday morning.
So cool.
And it's ready to go. And then I'm going to set my endpoint right here so I know it can't drive anywhere close to that side. and now you're good to take off.
Okay, so that's another Komodo-X with what lens was it again?
It's got basically a duplication of camera 3, so it's a Komodo-X with a Canon 17 to 120.
Yeah. Do you have like how fast does it go?
It can go, the fastest I've gone in here is like 20 miles an hour. I think they can go up to like 30 or 40.
So you got to be mindful too of like, how much do you do it during the sermon versus like?
So worship, yeah, it is kind of loud, especially if the room's really quiet. Once the PA's on and like talking heads or stuff, you can't really notice it. Yeah. When the room's dead silent, you're definitely going to hear it. So you would have to go pretty slow, like 5% to not hear it. Yeah. During worship, we full send it, so we're going like 20-something miles an hour at the max. Yeah. During sermon, I don't use it, so I have the operator. Once you get in there, you can. Yeah. It's the other one right there. Yeah. You can. I have the operator kind of just dock it to the side as just a wide shot, and then like during the final prayer of the sermon, I'll have them kind of drive to get like a cool moving shot. So I really only use it during like worship and transitions into like hosting moments. I don't use it too much during the sermon.
Wow. Yeah, that's so hard when you're zoomed in to like.
Yeah, keep it.
That's when you're really at pro level here, trying to be like.
And I can turn the speed down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why anybody would do that shot much, but the wide shots are like really cool. Or even just coming out a little bit.
Do you want to go full speed?
No, it's too expensive. That's cool.
So for their monitors, there's 2. This is their main like camera feed, and then this is online program. I do use this occasionally in the room, but it's majority of the time it's used specifically for the online broadcast. So I send them the online cut so they can easily see if they're live online, even when they're not live in the room. Yeah. And during like, you can see we're in the online studio now, so they can see like we're in a hosting moment and kind of keep track of what's happening on the online program.
Cool. Do you want to go look at that studio?
Yeah, we can go there.
Is it just another RED camera?
No, it's different stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, we can go there next.
Cool. Yeah, this is a cool place for an online studio, right in the lobby, right off the lobby.
So the idea is like if you're here in person, it's just a reminder that like, hey, if you're not here on a weekend or something, watch us online. We have a total online experience that's super easy to access.
Wow.
So in here, we do online kind of unique compared to a lot of other churches during hosting moments. So when the campus pastor's inside the worship center doing the welcome, there will be a specific online welcome in this room with an online host. Okay. So they'll cut out of the room for welcome, for like invitation and like send off moments at the end of the service, where it's kind of like dual hosting at the same time. So as far as production in here, we have Varicams. These are purchased back in 2020, or like when COVID happened, which I love Varicams. They're just kind of getting a little dated. So 2 Varicams in here, and then they have Atomos monitor. They have a full teleprompter set up, and then they have, one is a 18 to 80 servo lens, and the other is a 70 to 200 servo. So they have the same zoom and focus control right here in their monitor, which is really cool. Nice. So this is just like a classic studio setup where like you can throw a teleprompter, have your talking points, and host the service from here. Yep. There's also wireless tally. So, because like these are not the RED Komodos, they don't have MultiDynes, unfortunately. So I'm having to do a little bit of like third-party accessories to kind of get to the same point. Yep. And then this one's on a pedestal, so this whole tripod can go up and down pretty easy. This one's just a fixed one that I'd have to manually move up and down.
Yeah, then it's flexible. Looks like you get like 2 sets right here.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, the room's designed so we can shoot
3 sets. I don't know.
3, 4. We can move stuff around, which is really convenient to make it feel like you have 5 different spaces, but you're really just in the same room. Yeah.
Very cool.
For lighting, we have 2 aperture lights, and they're all on wheels and stuff. So we'll just move it with the cameras based on the set that we're the set that we're in at that moment. Yeah. And then for audio in here, so we have in this rack over here, we have 4 channels of Axient. So this would be 20 channels of Axient total if you add the other ones that Matt has. Okay. And so this sends into this converter, and then it converts to like Cat5, and then runs back to the rack room. That's how it gets to a stage rack. Okay. And then really the only other thing we're using in here is the Axient itself, and then we have a Furman, and then a ClearComm antenna, because they use the wireless FreeSpeak backs in here.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. Okay. And then for the microphones, they have the Axient handhelds, and we have mic flags so that it feels like an online branded experience. And then the host in here wear IFB, so basically it's like an in-ear monitor. And so they have 2 ways of connecting to that, either with the FreeSpeak pack, I have a little converter, or we bought these like iPods a long time ago. And so it's running an app called Agent IC, which I can actually run on my phone and be like halfway across the world and access all of our intercom channels through my iPhone, which is really cool.
That's so cool.
So if I pull up the app, you can see that there's...
Yeah, it's like an antique now.
Yeah.
iPod.
It might not work because we have no internet right now, but it would typically show up here and then the channel, and then they can just toggle to listen or talk through it or whatnot. They'll only talk through their mics that have them soloed in comm, so the director can always hear these mics. But they have a comm channel, they just talk on IFB, and then it goes straight to their packs or their iPod for communication, cueing them like when to start, when to wrap, stuff like that. There's 3 monitors kind of in each different area, and these are all on our video router, so I can easily route specific sources so that if we move the camera, they can actually use the monitor with a graphic or something like that. It makes it super convenient there. And then lastly, on this station over here is a teleprompter, so we'll have a volunteer run here on a MacBook Pro. We have a MacBook Pro, that way it's not like left out in the open all week, so we take it back to the control room and lock it up. But
Prompter Pro 4.
that's right. They're using Prompter Pro 4 as the software, and so the script will get loaded in here, and then the operator will just kind of scroll as they talk, and then it pops up through the camera. So.
Because that's just like, these are just monitors here sitting on
Exactly.
the...
It reflects it up.
These are ICANN monitors. Nice. Are they both getting the same? Yeah, they both get the same script, right?
And they're on the router too, so for specific moments, like for pre-service, it's typically not like scripted or there's no notes, so I'll patch programs so they can actually see the program cut inside the camera.
Wow.
And then they have a little small HD monitor so they can see our master clock. This is how they stay linked with the host in the worship center. So like if we start the welcome, there will be a 2.5-minute clock. It will start counting down on the first person when they say their word. And then generally when it gets close to 0, they're supposed to stop, and then online cuts back into the room. And if the online the host in the worship center goes over 10 seconds, well then the director's talking through the IFB to like, hey, extend, like he's still going, stuff like that. So they'll kind of wait for in the room to be done before online can toss. Because if online toss is earlier than when they're still talking in the room, then you're going to see that, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of that. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Our camera numbering system, so this starts with camera 21. No, we don't have 21 cameras. In the room, it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, goes up from there. And then online specific stuff starts in the 20s. So this would be 21, 22, 23, so that I could easily say camera 24, and I know, oh, that's an online camera, or that's in the room, or whatnot. So there's a lot of like strategic like labeling to determine what camera is what.
And then, because when did they build out this space? Was that?
So this was always a part of the lobby when this side of the building was built. It was originally used for a connecting point, so like first-time guests, they would come here and get information. It was during COVID kind of like renovated to create this space, and then connecting point was moved to a different part of the lobby. So.
Jeez. But did you already have did you have AV connections here
there
already?
Was a couple of like original TVs, but we had to run a wall plate on this side and all the way back to the control room. So that's something that was not predicted in the future. Like talk about infrastructure, this is one thing that was not originally designed for in this building. So we had to go back after the fact and run those cables.
Yeah, because it does get to a point where it's like you just can't foresee
exactly
everything that's possible. But cool. But yeah, walk us through.
All right, so this is our control room. So we have control room on this side, and then our video racks designated to behind this glass wall so that they're climate controlled and kind of in a secure environment. So starting at the top of this left rack, we've got a couple blanks, and then below that.
First of all, I gotta say, I'm gonna definitely steal this idea of the lit up logo.
It's pretty sick,
cool.
isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
And also like all the LED tape on the sides. These are like color changing, so I can make them cool colors or whatnot, which is a really nice touch. And it actually makes it easy to like read labels and see what the gear is and stuff. So below that is our Clearcom Eclipse frame. So this is our main like brain behind all of our intercom. So it's controlling our 10 different physical panels we have in control room and front of house. as well as all 15 free speak packs.
Okay.
And then it's got MADI ports on the back of it that connect to the front of house console. So we're actually sending 64 channels of audio both ways at 96K, which is crazy, like 96K for comms. So that, like, we can send click and guide and custom mixes and host mics that are like pre-fader and like video channels if we want to preview them with them not in the house. So much flexibility there. Below that is a LQ rack unit. So this is made by Clearcom. It takes 4-wire intercom in and then basically just hits it to the internet. So at another campus, we could get the same unit and then take the Clearcom channels and like turn them into analog audio or keep them 4-wire to hit their intercom system. So we could talk comms campus to campus. It also hits it to the app, so I could pull it up on my phone and listen to 5 or 6 different channels of intercom anywhere in the world and talk back and forth, which is really cool. Below that is all of our networking. So we have 3 Cisco switches that our IT department manages. And then anything really video related that has data comes back to this. So all the gear in this racks, they're all in patch bays right here, which then they hit to the network there, as well as like floor pockets, wall plates. Those are all wired back here. So they'll be numbered 223 and we find it and then just pop it into the network switch. Below that, we have a Prodigy DI. So the main thing this is doing is converting our video router for audio from 96K from Matt's console to 48K for our video router. So our video router takes audio directly in over MADI, but it can't run at 96. So we have to down convert it to 48 for it to cross talk back and forth. It also gives us 16 channels of analog audio. So we have 16 inputs and 16 outputs, which is going to that stage rack down below it, which is specifically for our online Avid console. So Avid, this console is only talking to the online console. So this is the only way for it to get audio from our router. So like graphic sources, remote video feeds that we're bringing in, those all have to come through that stage rack for the online console to see it because they don't hit the other stage rack with the DiGiCo. So anything video routed related with audio is coming through that stage rack for online. And then below that, we have a couple other XLR tie lines around the building to amp rooms and studio and stuff like that. Next, for the second rack, at the very top, we have a LiveView decoder. So we have a little backpack unit that our online team will bring to other campuses. And then it's the same thing a lot of like news stations use to like do remote broadcasts in the field or a random parking lot or whatever. So over cellular data, the encoder sends to this decoder, and then we're able to pull that feed with about 0.6 seconds of latency. Sometimes we run it at a second. So we're able to get like true real-time like communication back and forth with video signal with embedded audio, which is really cool. Below that is all of our encoders and decoders. So we have one little Ray encoder specifically used for campus review purposes. So that little PTZ that I was showing you, that gets sent to there with embedded audio just to review the service afterwards, like a wide shot of the stage. Then we have our campus encoder. So this is what's sending to our other 6 locations. It gets 2 video feeds, and then it gets 8 channels of audio embedded on those video feeds. So that's how we're sending to other campuses. And it's also like super old. This is before Living as One was really like publicly branded as Living as One. So it's not even Resi. It's way back, dated back from years ago. Below that, we have another Resi encoder, which has Living as One. So that's specifically for online, which gets 1 video feed in. And then below that is the Resi decoder. So if we were to ever play back a sermon for a week, we can use that instead of having to play it off of other CG source. Below that is our fiber cabinet. So all the camera, the floor pockets, all those are coming through here for fiber. So we just match the numbers, and then we can patch stuff in the rack to the floor pockets or wall plates through that, which is really great. Below here is a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. So we have a Raspberry Pi that's doing digital signage. So it just runs 24/7, outputting like a loops of graphics, which goes to a decimator so we can get it SDI. Originally, we had like a ProPresenter machine that was tied up doing this 24/7, but it's like we can buy a $100 Raspberry Pi and not have to use a $500 Mac Mini running ProPresenter 24/7.
Yeah. What's the Raspberry Pi running?
It's called InfoBeamer. So it's just this little site we upload these little JPEGs to, and it sends it, and all of our campuses use this. So we upload to this one site, and then it sends everywhere. That's cool. Wow. Which is really great. Below is the air server. So this is how our pastor can aircast with his iPad, and then it goes to a decimator to get it to SDI. And then we just have a couple of miscellaneous KVMs for specific computers. Down here I have 2 Mac Minis. This first one, and these are not really connected to monitors, they're just internal like software and stuff running that I can remote into. This one is our main companion satellite. So it's got all the connections to all of our gear, and then the other Stream Decks are just hitting the IP of that computer to pull satellite from. It also is running ProPresenter, so if I just need a specific ProPresenter computer to do a random task with, I've got a Ultra Studio that I can output SDI, and I also have SDI coming in as an input. So I could technically, if like my encoder were to break, I could stream with OBS or some sort of software to as a backup redundant feed. This Mac Mini is running what it's called AI Translate, and so with this audio interface, we send just a mono audio feed in, and the software can detect the speaking and turn it into text, and then the user on the app can pick which language. So we have we used to have a human like translating into Spanish in a back room. Since then, now we are using this AI software, and then the operator or the user can select from like 71 different languages, and it's within about a second latency of like I say a word, it would translate it on my phone within a second.
Oh my gosh.
Which is really cool.
That's incredible.
Below here we have 5 Mac Studios and Sonnet chassis. These all have DeckLink cards. So CG1 and 2 was our front of house computers. CG3 and 4 is for online, and then we have a 5th one, which is our Zoom ISO server. So it just is running a Zoom call, and it can output each individual caller on its own SDI output, which they can hit the video router, and I can hit switcher and stuff like that. These are all running over KVM, so like everything's rack mounted in a safe, enclosed, climate controlled environment, and then it's just a monitor and keyboard and mouse at a remote workstation that the operator uses.
Is that the KVM? What's the...
Nope. So below that is the Hippo, our green Hippo media server. So this is what sends an HDMI to our LED processor that's generating all the content for the center wall, and does like all the pixel mapping and stuff like that. With the green Hippo, I have 6 SDI inputs, so I'm sending a lot of like ISO camera feeds as well as like a couple of specialized MEs, so I can easily tell it what camera I want to show up on the screen. It's also getting NDI, it's getting time code so that we can link it with tracks if we have specific video that needs to be linked up, which is really cool.
What did you say the black box is for?
These are fiber cabinets.
But what does that mean?
The fiber that's terminated in the floor pockets all get terminated. That's where they come in here.
It's like a fiber patch bay?
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
So I could pop in here, and
they're
all numbered. So like that camera 4 floor pocket was said camera A. That's actually camera 4 coming out of right there, and it runs from here to the base station.
Gotcha. So everything's got to have a patch bay.
That's right. And then a bunch of UPSs at the bottom.
So where's your KVMs then?
They're behind this. They're just those little AV Tech or whatever.
AV Access ones?
AV Access ones. They're like $100 or something.
Yeah.
So
they're just point to point. So
exactly.
Like you can't toggle between the workstations.
No, if we needed to do that, we use remote desktop to remote in.
Got it.
So this is just like a kind of a budget-friendly version of doing that.
Spend all of our money on lenses and camera bodies.
That's right. What that matters more than KVM.
You're right. You're right.
That will actually be seen by a person. Yep. This third rack is specifically a lot of like patch bay and router stuff. So at the very top is our reference generator. So this is genlocking our entire video system, from cameras and video switchers to LED walls, like everything. This is the master clock that's pulling what's the starting frame. Wow. And so that's how we get everything to communicate. So all of our CGs, they're all genlocked to that. So everything's getting its reference from that one device. Below that, we just have a couple of test monitors that we can easily patch sources to see if stuff's working. And then below here, we have 2 video switchers. So they're both Carbonite Ultras made by Ross. And so we have one designated to Henderson, which is this campus, and then one that's specifically for online. So they do a separate cut with the studio and stuff like that.
So the way Ross works is they have like a separate switcher. This is just a 1 RU unit for the switcher. Like how many mix engines do they have?
So the top one is a 2ME and the bottom one is a 1ME, but you can license them. So it really could be whatever you want.
Oh, you could have like you just pay for more.
Same thing with multi-views.
What's the highest they can do?
The Ultrix is not their newest one, so I'm not actually sure. I think 2 IMEs might be the max.
Okay.
I would have to look it up.
Because then the router is this is all the I/O for all the actual video ins and outs right here. Okay.
So above or below the video switchers is our video patch bay. So any like SDI coming from a floor pocket or a wall plate comes here. So like all of our POV cameras that we have around the room, those little Marshall cameras, they're all coming in here, and this is how they get connected to the router. So as opposed to running to the back of the router and trying to find the input, you just patch it to the patch bay, which it makes it a lot more easy to service stuff and change stuff around. Black is all like permanent, so like stuff we're not moving day to day, and then red is a temporary line. So I can easily determine to keep it kind of clean and stuff like that.
Yeah, because these patch bays, like this is so the signal is just going in and through this right now?
Yep, so this is our 4 CCUs for MultiDyne.
Yeah.
So it runs from the base station into here, and then if nothing's connected, then the signal will come out and hit the router. Okay. If I wanted, say, camera 1 broke and I need to do a temporary tie, I could just plug it in there and it will override the signal going to the router, and that becomes camera 1. Okay. But a lot of these are just direct out. So like floor box 243 or 234, I could plug into there and then hit an input to the router or an output.
Oh yeah, because all your router ins are the green?
Yes, inputs and then below outputs.
Yep. Very cool.
So our router, this was done with our camera install. It's the Ross Ultrix, which is a really great platform. It's one of their newer routers. We're doing 122 or 28 inputs and outputs, all SDI. And the Ultrix is great because it's taking
122 by 122?
I think it's either 122 or 128, one of the two, I can't remember. A lot of video. And they make a larger one too, which I think get into like the 200s and 300s. Wow. So this is kind of their mid-tier for the Ultrix. It gets...
do they make a smaller one?
They do make a smaller one. I think they make like this is the 7, they make a 5, and they make a 1 or a 2. So there are lots of different sizes. Yeah. No, this is an FR5. It's 5 RU. So this is the mid-tier. Yeah. So the router can take MADI lines from front of house. And so all of our embedding and de-embedding is happening internally inside the video router. So there's no like third-party like converters doing all of that. Yep. Which is really great because any input hitting the router, I can rip audio or add audio to it. There's no like I have to plug it into this random adapter that has XLR plugging into it. Like I could just change it in the software. Yeah. So the flexibility is like endless of what I could do. Yep. It's also it has internal multi-views, so any input that hits the router or any output that hits the router, I can route to a multi-view. And I could create a custom Hunter box in one multi-view and see all my inputs, which you can't really do with like an ATEM or something like that. No. Below that is the power unit that powers the router. So if one of these were to go bad, you could easily swap it as opposed to like having to ship the router out or something, and there's redundancy there with 2 of them. That's nice. We have an open gear card. So we're using open gear for 2 things. It's got a bunch of distribution cards that are basically splitting all of our genlock. So our master clock has 4 outputs. It hits a bunch of splitters basically in the open gear card, and so that's what's feeding genlock to the entire system. And then we have 2 AJA cards that are just HDMI to SDI for miscellaneous purposes. Okay. So as opposed to having to have a converter like Velcro to the side of the rack or on a shelf, it's just all housed in the open gear card, which is really great. And you could buy so many different cards to go with that. We have a bunch of blanks and then UPS, so that's it for that rack. Last rack, I have at the top, I have a extra decimator multi-view, so this can do 4 inputs, and then I can create a 4 box or a 2 box or 1 box. I really wish I had another like Ultrix router license, but it can get pricey, and I already had this on hand, so we just went ahead and wired it into the system. So it gives me an additional multi-view that I can customize from the router. Oh, cool. So that's really all that's doing. Here's the base stations for the camera, so that's what connects to the fiber backs. And so that's how I'm getting the connections of video in and out, genlock, camera control, tally, intercom, all that's coming through those base stations right there.
So fiber connection hits that black box from the stage pocket, then from there it comes over here.
Exactly.
And then, but then from these devices, you have all your actual network, video, patch cable, like, okay. Wow.
Exactly, yep. It just kind of cleans up the entire system and keeps
Yep.
it pretty simple. So we have 4 of those. And then we have 9 HybridX. So the HybridX, I have a Henderson program, which is our main iMag cut. Then I have a clean version of that, so with no lyrics or graphics overlaid. I have an online cut, and then I have online clean, so online without any lower thirds overlaid. I'm ISO recording camera 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
And with camera ISO, I have embedded program audio with that. So like our creative team, they like to archive camera 2, which is our head to toe, because that's what they use to post to social.
Shorts and stuff.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And it's got embedded audio. They don't have to pull it from the stream. It's literally just they grab the drive and archive it there.
Yeah.
Or if we wanted to do something, I could easily route these to be all ISO from all 7 cameras, and then edit this all in post.
Yep.
And they're all like time code and genlocked together. So like the starting frame, it's all synced together.
But yeah, if you guys do like a special like worship recording or something like that.
Yep.
Wow.
And then the last 2, I just have recording multi-views. So like training, I could have like a camera op, watch the video director multi-view and like learn framing and how a good camera operator is running this camera, and I could say watch this and then try to replicate this. And then I'm recording another multi-view which has like all of our fun POV angles,
That's what
Marshall
we
cameras.
see on social media.
That's exactly how. So anything I post on social media, I'm recording to this. But what's really cool is I'm embedding 16 channels of audio on this one drive through our router. So I'm recording Henderson program, so front of house mix, left, right, online mix, left, right. Then I have all 6 of our intercom party lines on that. So in editing, I could take this. I don't have to
multi-tracked on that?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I drop it in Final Cut or Premiere or whatever, or Adobe, and then I can expand the audio and have 16 channels of audio that are already linked together, so I don't have to do anything in post, which is really fun.
If you use DaVinci, does Blackmagic make it easier? Like if you...
I mean any software can can expand.
But yeah, I've seen some of with Blackmagic devices and some of the syncing they do with it. They have some slick workflows, but wow.
So that's really, before I'd have to like ask Matt to multi-track it at front of house and stuff, and now I just hit record on the drive and it does its thing, and I don't have to sync it up in post.
Wow.
Which is really cool. Here's our system for archiving. So our creative team, I'll put the drives in here and then they pick it up. So like once the service is done, I have no control over the footage or the drives. They manage all of that. So I'll pop the drives that they want. I'll put them in the pickup bin, and then on Sunday afternoon, they'll come and grab them from the pickup. They'll archive them, put it on our server, and then they'll return the drives in the return. And then we'll just recycle that whole process.
Yep.
So, and all the drives are labeled with what they are, so we could easily keep up with what's camera 3 ISO or what's the Henderson cut.
Yep.
So it's just try to keep it like efficient and clean like that. Here's our LED center LED wall processor. So it's the Novastar MX2000 Pro. And so this is getting one 4K HDMI signal from our media server, and then it does the 3 fiber outputs to the wall. So that's really all it's doing there. And then below that is our side screen LED processors and scalers. And those are, I think they're at least 10 years old, so it's getting pretty dated at this point. And then below that we have a bunch of expansion rack blanks for future stuff. What I think is actually more fun though is the back of the rack. Do you want to go see?
Yes, that's what I've been waiting for this whole
What's
time.
cool too is these are motion detected, so as you walk back here, the lights.
Yes, so satisfying.
So as you keep walking down, the lights will turn on by themselves.
Yeah, I was curious on the back, especially the multi-dyne ones. Like, there's just so much stuff going in and out of them.
Right.
So, like, are they getting? I see the video sync 3G, 12G. And then is all the audio just over network?
So this is the intercom adapter. So it takes 4-wire. There's a 4-wire intercom adapter that sends it basically analog audio, and then it puts into this connector pin that will embed it.
Wow. So
same thing for intercom. So like this purple one is intercom being embedded, which is actually. It comes out to these guys. This is how I can embed 2 channels of program audio, or 2 channels of intercom plus program audio. Wow. So it's just like I can connect to, through an XLR basically.
Yeah, guys, look at this. This is the Summit assembly technicians here. They built this on site?
Yeah, so typically like they build it in their warehouse and ship
Yeah.
it here, but because this was kind of a refresh of a current system we already had, they had to send their whole team here for like 2.5 weeks. Gutted it, yeah.
Because like, what did you do like during that 2-week period?
We had to create a temporary like fly pack to run services.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this is like a lot of work, man.
It looked really bad before. I mean, this rack is 10 years old, so you know as stuff breaks, you put in a temporary cable, and then
Yeah.
it gets worse and worse from there. So
Yeah, I'm sure it looked nice when they put it in at first, and they came back and they're like, "What did you do?"
That's right. So I try really hard to, if I'm adding new gear, like run the cable nice and pretty and make it look this good.
Very cool. Okay, so yeah, that was the
Over here is
processor.
the video router. So you can see these are all the micro BNC connectors, because the router would be huge if you had 400 plus BNC connectors that were the full size.
Yeah.
So these are all the micro, and then the patch bay. And you got to start doing this. You got
the 3D
printed
printed hangers for your BNC.
so I can get in
connectors.
there and unplug.
That's a
stuff
great idea.
I would always lose these, so I'm
Wow.
glad they did that. For cable color, so purple is anything leaving the building video-wise, so floor pockets, wall plates. Black is internal 12G SDI. And then green is all genlock. So I could easily see, oh, this is all genlock stuff or whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So there's a color
so cool.
coordinated system for that.
Jeez. Man, yeah, the amount of data you have to get just for like one camera out there, that is mind-boggling. Then all your deck links, the back of the KVMs.
These are the KVMs.
Well, and I would say like they also, I bet they wish they had a bigger room to work with.
This is pretty small for how much gear.
That's a lot of gear in this room.
There's not a lot of space to add stuff in the future.
Wow. So. All those power supplies.
Yeah.
That's great. Still nice and clean. And then we'll be back over here.
Yep,
Oh,
so
that's your
comm
audio.
frame, networking, stage rack.
Yep. Very impressed.
And then I know some film, but we have like the patch bay,
yeah.
anything to fix fiber, stuff like that.
Yep.
And then I 3D printed this
Oh, nice.
rack screw holder.
Yep.
And we always have a drill just in case you got like emergency swapping.
Oh, yeah.
You never know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
So, and then
That's so
patch
cool.
bay cables.
Yep. And now to the control of it all.
So this is, you can think of it split into two sections. So the back row is specifically for online. So we have an online video director, online CG computers, and then we have a video shader back here. So basically these are the panels that remotely control the frame of the switcher. And so this is a 1 ME, so they only have one stripe here, but they have several mini MEs, which is very close to a ME, just has a little less keyers that you can control. So technically I could do like 3 or 4 customized outputs from this one video switcher. So back here for monitors, they just have a preview and they have a program monitor. And then they've got 2 multi-views from their video switcher. So really what they're doing is they're cutting between the studio and like CG sources and then the main Henderson cut. And then back here is CG3 and CG4. It's one operator just like at front of house that will run both computers. So this main computer is running lower thirds. So if you see right here, I'm gonna click it, it will pop up. And this is all built inside ProPresenter. So like all these animations, and how they come in and out, it's all done through ProPresenter and then keyed alpha key into the switcher. CG3 is also running our clock, so as long as the operator is following along with the service, like throws the first lower third up when the welcome starts and stuff like this, the clocks automatically follow. And then we do like a worship bug at the start of songs, which is thrown back here. So if I click here, it will start the good plans timer, and then you can see it keyed on the bug on top of the main output from online. So, and then CG4 is just like CG1 in the room, where it's mainly videos with audio and full screen graphics. So this, like if the stinger that starts the service, that plays in the room and online, so they would just take CG1 from in the room. But if they do a segment at the end of the service that's not happening in the room, they need to be able to play video or play a service back or something. We could easily do that from the CG source right here. And then both these stations have intercom panels, the same as front of house.
So who's like is the person switching also directing for online? Like, are they calling out like, hey, like I'm about to come to, like, who's communicating and coordinating?
Yep.
That?
So I would love to have like a TD and then a director, but the space of the control room is kind of constricting.
Yeah.
So this is consolidated to one role, which the video director will switch for themselves and communicate and kind of act like the online producer. So they're talking to the host, online audio, online CG, and they're basically like in the camera operator in the studio, kind of leading that entire team. So everybody's hitting the transition at the same time and cueing the right video at the right time. And then so what they'll do is for worship or anything in the room during sermon, they'll take a specialized cut from the front row. So this person's not worried about the cameras in the room, they're just worried about the studio stuff.
Yep. Okay. That's good.
So up here on the front row, this is everything to do with in the room plus what's happening at our other campuses. So I've got 2 workstations here. This is the video director and a TD. So sometimes if I'm video directing, I sit here and I have a TD there, or a lot of times the video director is also TDing for themselves. Get 7, 1, got 1, 7, get a big shot here, ready 5, got 5, like down or something, ready 4. You can do that, that's fine. 4, got 4, full send it. 1, got 1, ready 6, got 6, ready 7, go. Got 7. Ready 1. So they have a 2-stripe panel, but they have 2 Emmys and they have 4 mini Emmys. And so the way I have the video switcher set up is this bottom stripe is the main Emmy. So this is the cut that goes to iMag as well as what goes to our other 6 campuses. And then this top row is what's sending to the online switcher. So I can cut camera 7 online and camera 1 stays in the room. Okay. And so the way I do that is I could hit it up here, but it's kind of complicated to find the button. So I have custom controls mapped up here. So this top row is basically just controlling what's happening up here. So if I cut 7 online, you'll see that 7 went live on this top stripe, which is ME2 in this situation.
Oh, because 7 is the camera that you.
That's the
dactyl camera.
Yeah.
Got
So in a lot of situations, I would cut to 7 online and keep 1 in the room.
Yeah.
That's how I do that. And as long as the online switcher is taking the Henderson program that I'm sending them, then online will see that end result. Yep. Wow. So like you can see right here, this top left is the online feed. So as I cut through cameras, there's 4 online, 3 online, 1 online. But you can see down here, I still have camera 2 on iMag. Yeah. And then 90% of the time, the online cut is the same as what's happening in the room. So I have a link button. So if I click that, it just makes this top stripe follow this bottom stripe. Oh. So if I cut 1, 1's going everywhere, 2's everywhere, 3's everywhere, 4's everywhere. But if I want to cut 7 online, I would hit 7 online. And then I could keep cutting here, and I have 2 separate cuts.
But then you have to toggle, when you want to go back, you back the link?
Yep, exactly.
But you want to make sure you don't have 7 on when you do that?
I mean, when you hit link, it would just make this cut follow this.
Oh, okay. Because it's still on 4. Yep. Okay.
And then for keyers, we have 2 main graphics computers up here that are being keyed on. So we have CG1 and CG2. CG2 will stay keyed on the entire time. That's like lower third lyrics, nameplates. So that will typically stay keyed on both up here. And then the online switcher has 4 total keyers. They have all access to all the CG machines because they're doing a little bit more media-related stuff and less camera-specific stuff. So they have a lot more resources dedicated to that. Yep. And then over here, I have a touchscreen. So this top left monitor is really just kind of like a flex workspace. I could easily change stuff. So if you could hit the mouse, you may just tap twice to get the mouse over there. But yeah, so when you click it,
you can ISO.
It's ISO previewing all of those cameras.
Oh, that's cool.
So if I'm like in a video and I think camera 1's a little soft or whatever, I could just hit it up there and see it instantly and be like, hey, camera 1, you're a little soft or whatnot.
What are these monitors? They look really good.
These are Samsung commercial displays. I couldn't tell you the exact model, but I have 6 of them. And then they're all on the router, so I could easily change what's going to them.
Because they just have unistrut little stands.
The unistrut hits the floor as well as the back of the wall, and they just mount straight to them with like the mounts.
And then you got some nice Tascam speakers. I like those little lamps you got in the corner.
That's right. You got to get it moody in here. And then they just have a speaker so they can control We typically try to keep this room pretty quiet, like noise-wise, because if they have these speakers cranked up here and they have the online speakers cranked up there, it gets really confusing. And so all of our program audio for online and Henderson are built into the comms. So technically, we could have the speakers turned all the way off and just listen through the service through our headsets, which is really great.
Where's your mixing console for online?
It's in this room.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay, so over here is my kind of workstation. So I have just a miscellaneous MacBook or iMac that I can kind of do whatever I want. Right now I have pulled up the RED Control app. So I could actually control all the settings of the cameras from here. So I could change the ISO just by clicking stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah. Or you have the actual shaders back there.
Right. Okay. So if I don't have a shader or I need to override or something, I could easily do that. And then I have remote desktop, so if I need to get into online CG3, just like Kevin, I can, this might not, okay, there is. I could easily get in and control the computer that way, or I really just have them pulled up and I can keep an eye on them, make sure everything's working how it should. You can also see this RED control, it's also picking up tally information, so I can see camera 1's live and 4's live and 2's in preview. Oh yeah. So it's really cool that all that communication can talk with itself. And then down here I have a Stream Deck. So this is the Stream Deck Studios, the rack mounted one. It just gets PoE out of the back and then it's hitting the companion satellite. And so the way all of our Stream Decks are set up is they're all identical in nature. Some have access to specific things, but for the most part, they're all just very similar. So if you walk up to a Stream Deck, you can hit the menu page and then get to the same buttons, and they're the same color and the same label, so you're not having to learn different systems compared to where you are. So like I have control, so if I hit control, I can turn our LED wall, the side screens on and off here. Oh, cool. I can turn house lights on and off. I can turn the work lights on, the catwalk lights, confidence monitors. So like we have 6 confidence monitors. It would be a pain in the butt to go hit with the remote all of them. Yeah. So I can just hit confidence off and you can see they just all turned off.
Oh, that's cool.
Backstage TVs, I could turn those on and off. Rehearsal mode, Matt talked about like sending audio to the lobby and stuff. I could override that very easily. I can mute QSYS. And then I'm not gonna do it, but I could hit this control room off button and all these monitors and the lights would turn off. Wow. Which is fun. All this stuff I have scheduled to turn on and off. So like at Sunday morning at 6 o'clock, all the monitors, the LED walls, the house lights, the confidence monitor, I mean, everything turns on. So when I walk in, I'm literally just turning on cameras. Yeah. Because before it would take at least 30 minutes just to flip like hundreds of buttons, just turning stuff on. So the more I could automate, the better. Like. So it's a combination of QSYS and companion. Right. A lot of times companions communicating to QSYS to the device. Yeah. And then I have a call Matt button, so if his console was on, I could hit that and then it would strobe his DiGiCo light. Oh yeah. So if he's not on Intercom and I need to get him, I could get his attention that way. That's cool. And then if I go to patch, this is just a bunch of miscellaneous patching. So this is control room monitor, so I could override and patch camera 1 over there, or 2, or 3, or 4, or I could set it to follow the online program cut. Wow. Same thing with this right monitor, I could change the multi-view. So I could, let's do headless. This is the computer running companion satellite, so I could easily see that. Or I could pull up the YouTube stream and like monitor it that way. Yeah. Or if I wanted to see kind of the wide shot of the room. So pretty much every single, this is why you need 128 ins and outs on your routers, because like every display is coming from that router. It goes really fast, yeah. I think we only have maybe 10 or so inputs and outputs still available. Wow. So yeah, it eats up pretty quickly. Wow. Yeah. And then, so I have like all of the POV cameras. So if I'm like, is Matt at front of house or whatever, I could just hit the front of house one. It's gonna take a second, but now I can see front of house from here, which is really cool. Most of the time, it's living on this multi-view that has all the POV cameras in it. So at the same time, I could see 9 different cameras and keep an eye on stuff, which is really cool. And then I have a couple of miscellaneous things where I could easily, stuff that I'm commonly changing the patch on, I just have set right here. Yeah. I have frame rate control of all the cameras. So like camera 1 that's in preview right now, I can set it to 24 frames. You'll see it flicker and it come back. Now it's running at 24 frames. Now it's running at 60. Oh yeah. What's also cool is if you look at the top right, you'll see those little blue labels that say camera 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh gosh.
That's saying what frame rate the actual
Yeah.
cameras are. So if I change it to 24, you can see it's determining that information.
So that's part of the custom multi-view and ROS that does
That's
that?
right. It's getting a ROS talk command from Companion, which is talking to the camera to determine the information. So it's kind of confusing, but it's really cool. Like with that, like I can see the status of our HyperDecks, our online encoder, the rehearsal mode in the service. Like all of that information is just built into the multi-view through ROS talk.
Wow.
Yeah, it can get really overwhelming really quickly.
Yeah.
Lastly, over here, I just have a couple miscellaneous things. So if I needed, like, for instance, this is just through an Ethernet cable. So like an emergency situation, if this panel were to go offline, I would have no way to control the switcher. So I have a backup here where I could cut the camera myself.
Oh, cool.
I can also fade sources. If I spin this knob, it will do a dissolve.
Oh, no. That's great.
So always have like redundant ways of doing stuff because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. Same thing with the online switcher. I can control their inputs.
I feel like you share funny moments on your socials all the time.
Failures and
there.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then like I can start or stop our HyperDecks from here. Which you can see, I just hit start HyperDeck and that label turned red.
That's so cool.
And these are scheduled. So like I would always forget to hit the start button. Yeah. And so in Companion, I just scheduled it 10 minutes before the service. It starts the recording. Yep. So
Companion does more of the scheduling, not QSYS on like because QSYS can be scheduled too, right?
Yeah. So QSYS is scheduling some stuff like the lobby speakers, the lobby TVs. Stuff that's not connected to QSYS, like our HyperDecks, they don't connect to QSYS. Then I'm using Companion to do that.
It's kind of funny because it's like QSYS is such a, it's pretty expensive like protocol to use, but then now Companion is free.
Right.
Like, or I don't know if you have to pay licenses for some of the satellite
it's free for all
stuff.
this stuff.
Oh, it is, yeah. So that's getting crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of it for like how I control stuff. I have a comm panel here. So I'm listening to 6 party lines at one time.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's a lot of like determining what's priority for me to like process the information. And so if there's an issue reported on a specific like party line, then I'll report and try to fix that. Mm-hmm. So for main party lines, we have channel A, which is our all production party line. So like main transitions, the producer at front of house, they're talking on that. Mm-hmm. We have a camera channel, so that kind of segments it so the camera ops can only hear camera and they're not hearing all this other stuff, and kind of cleans it up. Because if everybody's on one party line, you would never be able to.
Because everybody on their free speak, can they toggle between these channels?
Yep, they have all these channels to access. We have an online party line, so the online video director, the online cameras, online audio, online graphics, they're all listening to that one channel. IFB is the earpiece I was telling you about in the studio, so if I talk on that, then I'm talking directly in the online host ears.
Oh, okay, yep.
We have a Zoom party line, so if we're using Zoom ISO to bring in guests remotely, I can talk directly to them. That's cool. And we're sending a mix minus feed to them, so they're getting program audio minus themselves, so they don't get the loop back. Yeah. Plus this comm audio, so I could talk directly to the Zoom person.
Wow.
Then we have like a private staff party line. That way we can communicate if there's something staff specific, we can talk about that. Below here is all the audio coming into the comm frame. So I told you like it's connected over MADI. Mm-hmm. So we have Henderson program audio. We have online program audio. I have a specialized Colby mix. Kevin has the same thing. Tyler has the same thing. So I can ask Matt, our audio engineer, hey, can you send me the MD in my mix? I can just listen to it through my mix here. Yep. I also have this assigned on my free speak pack when I'm walking around the building. So I could be anywhere in the building and I could hear click and guide cues. I can hear talkback channels. I could talk directly to the band through my free speak pack anywhere in this building. Like the capabilities are endless when you kind of just think of what's possible with this setup. Yeah. I have a host solo channel. So the 2 Axient channels in the online studio, I have those pre-fadered routed to here. So that I could always hear. If those mics are on, I could hear. Yep. So I can have a back and forth conversation with the online host through IFB talking to them and listening to their mics through that. Mm-hmm. So if they're off air or not live, I could talk back and forth. Oh. And then we have a band talkback. So if I click this down, I'm talking directly to the band's in-ears. I have this set too where I can't toggle it on because that would be catastrophic if you like forget this is on and you're talking to the band in the middle of the service. So I have that set, so I have to like press and hold on it. Where these other ones I could like latch on. Yep. It gets even more complicated to where like I could hit a shift channel and I have direct lines to every person. So I can talk directly to the producer, the video director, the CG op, lighting or whatnot. and then I could hit shift again, and I have my first 4 cameras. I could talk
Those are the free speak packs, basically, it seems as a
those
destination?
are
or
panels.
Panels, okay.
Yeah, I could actually add free speak packs, but I don't have that here. But yeah, if I wanted to talk only to camera 1 or 2, I could just talk directly to them, and they could hear me soloed, which is cool.
Oh yeah, because those guys aren't on the packs. They're
Wired through the MultiDyne.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's kind of that. That's my setup here.
That's impressive.
So we have up to 11 customizable multi-views. So this main switcher has 4 built into the switcher. The online switcher has 2. Our router can do 4 internally, and then I have that 5th one, or that the extra one that's the decimator. So between that, I think that adds up to 11 maybe. So I have lots of flexibility on where I want to put boxes or whatnot. So starting from the bottom middle is like my main multi-view that I watch. So this is the camera one that the video director's looking, so they have all the cameras. Their secondary one is this one on the right, which is mainly like all the CG sources, the iPad, stage displays, any like media type stuff is right there.
Yeah.
This,
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
On you. Yeah.
This left bottom one is the online multi-view. This person doesn't really need it. I like it in my workstation because I can kind of like keep an eye on what's going on back there.
Because that person's controlling
Back there,
it,
exactly. And then the top sides are basically just routable kind of flex ones that I can put whatever. And then this is probably my favorite one, is the top center is I call it the master multi-view.
Yeah.
So I'm watching all the things that are sending out from this building. So these are all mostly destination follows. So if I change the router on a center confidence at the bottom left, it would show me what's actually sending to that route.
Oh, that's cool.
So I can keep an eye on like stuff that's happening right or whatnot. Or if like our encoder, like the signal going to the encoder is like flickering or something or dropping out, I would be able to monitor that here with audio meters. So like our Resi ones, they have 8 channels of audio being embedded. I could see the meters on each one of those, which is really cool. This is the shader station. So we'll have a volunteer here shading all the cameras from the control room. So these are the Cyanview RCPs. So they connect directly with the little RIO box that is on the cameras, as well as the wireless cameras directly through the Komodo. So if I click here, I can push in and this monitor will follow. So this is camera 1, so I could bring the iris down and shade it, or I could like control the ISO all through here.
You got like some reference points for them here too.
Right, so I have a guide, because when we switch between 24 and 60, the brightness is obviously going to change, so they'll generally know. Like during worship, camera 1 is at 800 ISO, and then during hosting, it gets bumped up to 2000 because the frame rate's going to 60. So these are just general guidelines, good starting points. So like if we're in a video and the sermon's about to start, they go ahead and set it to 2000. That way when the lights come up, they're pretty close to where they need to be. And then what's cool about these is they're also getting tally information. So they can see, oh, I don't need to touch camera 2 because it's live. So, and you can just bop around and the monitor will follow you. And then I have a stream deck here. So I can, like if I wanted to see the multi-view or something, I could just hit it here. And monitor the program cut or the multi-view, or I could pop into specific cameras right here.
Yeah, that's so cool. Because that's a nicer monitor too, so they can actually see the color. But I mean, these are all the same, but it's important for a shader to have like actually good monitor. Cool.
This is a trench that will get us to both rows, the back row and the front row. So there's SDI, network lines, all that's running through the trench. So that we can easily run cables, which is a really cool feature.
Was that part of the original build? Or
it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then it's interesting, the like fire suppression system, there's no sprinklers in this room because obviously like it would destroy all the gear. So the doors will shut and the alarm will go off, and there's a like canister with a nozzle that will like push in gas to basically suppress the fire without using water.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah.
Whoa.
All right, I turned the console on and I'm not sure what happened.
Did you break it?
I don't know. I just turned it on.
Is it just having a good time?
I think this is normal. So, have you guys seen Vegas mode?
No.
Oh, it's called Vegas mode. So it basically puts the console in every fader, every LED node into a test mode, essentially. So
that's great.
It's kind of cool. It's a good way to burn your motors out, but this is only 15 years old, so.
Yeah, this is an old school console.
Yeah.
So this is where online audio is mixed. So Matt, this is the final send to the broadcast for online. So Matt has a left-right channel from his front of house mix. That's the matrix that he was talking about. So that will come in here, and if that fader's pushed up, then basically online's hearing the front of house mix from what Matt's sending. So they're handling a lot of media channels, so videos. They've got the online Axient, the host mics. So really, it's pretty simple. They're fading between some graphic sources with audio and host mics, and then the front of house mix. They have audio meter, so they can consistently see kind of like what we're outputting for consistency, and a lot of like complaints are like, oh, it's too quiet, too loud. But we can easily like monitor and keep a consistent level. Whereas like in the room, like talking heads are significantly lower than what the worship would be. Yeah. Whereas like online, you kind of want to keep it at consistent levels. That way everybody's not hitting their volume up and down as they go. Yeah. So for setup, they have.
It's so funny how it's like blast back to 2009.
Yeah, right.
Or
Isn't this
whatever.
crazy? This is on its last leg, but hey, it's doing the job.
Yep.
It's not doing much either. It's a very simple setup. So they have snapshots that are set up for them. So the volunteer will just basically hit recall the next snapshot, and the faders will fly up themselves.
Cool.
And they're really just monitoring and kind of updating the snapshots as we go through rehearsal and the service and stuff. So it's very simple for inputs. They have, this is just all media channels. So they have house music. They have 4 CG channels, iPad if we wanted to pull audio through the air server. They have Resi playback, and then these are the host mics. So they have the 2 handhelds for the online RF. We have 2 extra body packs that are Axient from online. And then this also is getting a copy of one of Matt's stage racks. So technically we could put any input that's hitting a stage rack to hear directly. So if we wanted to mix the full band here, technically we could do that.
Wow.
But for consistency's sakes, we don't like to do that because like Matt's, this is his full like responsibility is like making sure the mix sounds good, and then having a volunteer rotate it in and out every week. There would be some differences in consistencies week to week.
I love these old
they look like mushrooms
encoders.
almost.
Yeah, they're like the DigiDesign was the first interface I ever bought back in 2007. You're probably like a 2-year-old. When were you born?
2002.
Yeah, 5-year-old. So it was like a little two channel DigiDesign interface, and you got Pro Tools. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Yep. They have 2 monitors, so they have the online multi-view, so they can kind of see program cut for online and some of the other channels, as well as they just have the POV, so they can kind of see what's going on.
Wow.
And then for intercom, they have another ClearCom panel, so they're not wearing headphones or a headset. It's all coming through the speaker in here, and then they have a mic where they could talk back directly. Like, hey, talking to the online host through IFB like before air, like, hey, your mic's still off or whatever. They could communicate that way. Yep. And then they're listening to the online video director for transitions in and out of segments.
Get a whole studio here, though.
That's right.
So the idea of the tunnel is you can start in the control room where, you know, all the video stuff is. And then if we turn this way and go, this is what we call the tunnel. So now we're going under the seating, pardon the stuff, some guest experience stuff, you know, a little bit of storage. And then it accesses another, you know, entrance to the worship center on the right, but the tunnel keeps going. Now we're in our tunnel, production tunnel. And we have different storage rooms and our offices down here. But then the best part is you can now access front of house without going into the room.
That's so cool.
Right. So
You're just gonna make sure you don't run into people in the hallway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, during service, you know, if I'm here, I need to get control room, or Colby needs to come here, vice versa. We don't have to come in the room at all. We can go through the tunnel under the seating and pop out here. Yeah. Super helpful.
All right, so this is gonna be our backstage right. Super exciting stuff.
So you oversee all production?
Yes, sir. So I'm the production director. I've been here for about 7 years.
Okay.
Here in Compassion. So a couple things going on right here. This is also kind of like storage for us. We actually have a DiGiCo 225 going in at one of our campuses that just came in.
Oh, cool.
So our team would be the ones to install that. So Matt, I believe that's in a couple weeks. That's going in at our Midway campus, so we're excited about that. Some of this is just from our Bluffton campus that is launching in a permanent building here in honestly a couple weeks. So we have some LED boxes and some empty boxes that came back that will eventually go to storage for us, but it's kind of like a temporary spot. So, and then this is our production shop. So we're very blessed to have a space for projects and stuff like that.
Oh, so cool.
So come on in.
Oh man.
Really grateful that this design was here. And so the cool thing is, obviously this is a great space to do woodworking or any type of like materials and stuff that's not gonna get backstage dirty. But we also have a clear path right to the stage from our shipping dock right here.
Yeah.
So anytime we do a project or anything like that, we can literally just get a box truck in here and literally load in or load out. So it's very convenient. Makes for a great space. So, also, this is kind of cool. This wasn't my idea. One of the guys came up with this, but you know, the church has all these MDG hazers, and so we kept buying all these like massive jugs of haze fluid, and the shipping cost is like $50 every time. So we ended up buying this massive, I think it's like 5 gallons, 55 gallons of MDG haze fluid. So apparently you can buy it. So we have an electric pump right here.
That's so cool.
So the campus just comes, and when they're low on fluid, they just pump. So it's great.
Make sure the lawn maintenance people don't think it's gas.
Yeah, we've had that happen a couple times, but it shouldn't be a big deal. So yeah, pretty cool.
Can I drive the truck?
Do you know how to drive stick?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's been like 15 years since I've driven
Yeah,
stick,
so
but
if you want, do you want to know the specs? Yeah, this is fun, man.
It's been sold.
It's a little loose, okay?
It's stick and it's backwards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Easy.
You can't put 3 miles there outright.
No, you'll be fine. Is he in there?
Yep.
Oh yeah, he is. And let's go. You can launch it, bro. You're not gonna hurt it.
Woo! Okay, yeah.
All right,
What's
so we can go this way. Follow that gravel right here.
Okay.
All right, so check it out. Our church, we do a thing called the Journey, and it's every other year. And essentially, it's this like outdoor outreach where there's a bunch of scenic and like theater-like atmosphere, and it's a Christmas outreach. And so we've had like, I think we did this like a couple years ago. We had about 30,000 people come through. So it's like a walkthrough experience. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
But anyways, that being said, we provide like all the AV gear for the different scenes that you'll drive through.
Yeah.
And so we're talking, you know, some mobile rigs of like a couple channels of RF, an amp, and some powered speakers or whatever.
Left or right?
Go straight. It's gonna be bumpy. So hold on.
I got it in first gear.
Yeah, you're good.
Nice
You're
and
good.
Slow.
Yeah. And so anyways, we needed like a vehicle that could fit over these bridges that we're about to go on and be able to haul like, you know, racks of gear.
Yeah.
And so we put this in the budget. And so I'm not joking with you. We were in a budget meeting, and literally on the budget spreadsheet, it said mini truck. And my boss was like, "What is a mini truck?" And I was like, "Not to be disrespectful, sir, but like it's straight ahead, straight ahead." Yep.
I was like, what trail?
Yep, go straight. I was like, not to be disrespectful, but I'm literally asking for a mini truck. And then I put a picture up and everybody laughed. And so anyways, he approved it. And man, it's been such an investment for us as a production team. So we have a large campus here, a physical large campus. And it's so helpful for like when we're running gear. This is our lake right here. So across the lake, when we would move gear to these sites that you're about to drive through. So it's been a huge add for our team. So highly recommend it. And so we're gonna go, this is always hard, but I think it's between these trees and take a right.
These?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets a little squirrely. Yeah, right there. You're good. It's on
the mini truck can handle it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool thing though is this is a 4-wheel drive as well, so you're not gonna get stuck. We've never gotten it stuck. So this was built a couple years back, but then this is all of our woods and stuff, and you know, it's just like nature trails for people to walk through, and we'll keep going straight. So it's crazy, man. Like our church is actually over 62 years old.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And so, sorry, these are cops. Oh, tell them to keep filming. Keep filming. Oh yeah, they are cops. Yeah, so these, this is on the other side. We'll hit it on the way back so you can actually see. But this is one of the scenes. We have Bethlehem, and so these guys are gonna be like, you're good. Like unless they tell us to stop, like we also do a lot of training out here with law enforcement, so we have a really good relationship with the local PD.
Okay.
And so they may be training. We'll see. We'll stop and see what's going on. Oh yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? Anything? You guys need help? All right. So, anyways, this is another scene, and so we would use this every night to basically load up gear, strike it because of the weather and all that good stuff. Yeah. And you'll keep going straight. But going back to Compassion, so 62 years old, which is crazy. Just came up on our 60th anniversary. And then, let's see, Compassion is made up of 7 campuses. We have 6 here in Georgia, and then we have 1 in Bluffton, South Carolina. Yeah. So we recently picked up Bluffton a couple of years ago. And so we are definitely growing. Our senior pastor, Marcus Johnson, his vision is to expand in other regional areas around us. So that's his vision, and so our team is here to support that. And then we'll take a left here.
Because wait, how long has the church been multi-site?
So multi-site, that's a great question, and we can go straight.
Just up there.
I know, yeah. I'm surprising you with all the direction. You're good. You're not
You
gonna
guys
hurt.
good back there? Okay.
So normally I would tell you to go to right where this truck is, but he's blocking everything. I'm assuming they're doing training, and that was maybe a person training, I would assume. Because they were all like chilling, so.
Yeah.
The cool thing is, we're gonna try to go on this bridge if you're comfortable making this tight turn. If
on
you're
the curb?
Yep.
Sure.
Just go slow, Yeah, you're good, you got it. Yeah, we'll just go straight. And this is fun, isn't it? Because you don't got a lot of margin, right?
No.
And then we'll take a left, and let's see if we can go over the branch. What do you think?
What is this thing?
This is Bethlehem. I'm going to show you. We're going to get out.
We want to go over the branch?
Let's try it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
This is an ATV.
Go for it. Punch it a little bit. There you go. You're good. You're not going to hurt it, bro. I promise. All right, let's stop right here. I'll show you real quick.
Oh, so this is the
Bethlehem.
display.
Yeah. So we're 7 campuses. So production's centralized.
Yep.
And so everybody reports back to us, not the campus or campus pastor. So we're a little different with the structure.
Yeah.
But we feel like that's been the best for us.
Yeah.
We're super grateful, man, for our leadership. So 3 people in particular. Marcus Johnson, he's the lead pastor, obviously.
Yep.
He really supports us from a technology standpoint. Bill Gross, he's the person over our department.
Yep.
And then you have Harvey Bream, he's our executive pastor. So they entrust me and the team a whole lot, man, with the resources.
I go forward
go for it. Yep. They really do a good job of entrusting us with the resources that we have to steward, and so we're super grateful.
E-brake.
Oh yeah, I'll do it. Our mission statement is, we'll do anything to lead people to a life-changing relationship with Jesus Christ. Yep. And so that basically drives all our decision-making, everything like that. It's very important to us.
Yeah.
But we have a really good culture around here, specifically on the production team. So I have a lot of really smart people that work for us, and they do a great job. I think Kevin mentioned, we basically have 1 production person per campus. And then we also have, multiple people here at the broadcast campus, Henderson. So that'd be the exception. Yeah. But that works best for us. So.
No, I think this team structure you guys have is needed, and it's great because it's there's so much systems you've got going on there that it takes a full-time video person. It takes a full-time audio person to run it well.
Yeah, it really does. And then for me, for my main job responsibility as the production director, typically my thing for the Sunday morning is I'm floating between the campuses, right? So I'm at another regional campus. I'm at Henderson, and basically
and you can do that because these guys are taking care of it.
100%, yeah. And I have 100% trust. Yep. They do not need me. They can literally run the show. Yep. But I always tell them that when I'm successful, I know that they will be successful. And so my goal is not to be in the forefront. My goal is to be in the background, supporting them. Hey, what do you need? What can I advocate on your behalf to leadership in my different conversations with them? Yep. I hold obviously a lot of relationships with our vendors and our integrator summit. Yep. And so that's kind of my role, is 30,000 foot view of the church, where is the church going?
Yep.
One of the biggest challenges right now that we're experiencing, you'll keep going through here, through the trees. We have a lot of aging campuses, right? And so, Jake, basically the struggle and the balance is like, okay, we have new campuses coming online. We have older campuses that are roughly 15 years old.
Yeah.
So we have end of life, happening with some of our gear. And so like, how do we prioritize, an older campus that needs a new lighting upgrade or a new PA console, et cetera, versus like investing in a new campus.
Yep.
And so that's always the challenge and a struggle.
Yeah, gosh, because it's a lot of overhead
Yes.
that all that has, again, you can see 10 to 15 years lifespan out of most of it.
Yeah.
But if at least the infrastructure for a lot of it was put in, like where all those campuses did you acquire those buildings or?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the majority of them we acquired, right?
Okay.
Especially the older ones. There's a couple exceptions. The Bluffton campus that's launching in a couple weeks, construction from the ground up.
Yeah.
Our Statesboro campus, it's a college town. It's roughly about an hour away from us here. That was built from the ground up. But the other campuses we did acquire, and so.
Yeah, those ones are definitely more work to retrofit.
So challenging, man.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of issues with the rooms, and that we just have to mitigate.
So I'll back up for you.
I mean, you don't have to. If you want to just run it, it's fine.
No, we'll put my skills to the test.
All right, sweet. All right, you're doing a killer job, bro.
This is one of the highlights of my tech tours for sure.
Cool it.
This thing is so fun.
Great job, man.
Thank you.
You killed it.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Worship Tech Tour. Shout out to Colby and the whole team for allowing us to come and check out their systems. Also, great job, Summit AVL, for the integration that you guys did here. It's really cool to admire your work. I know as I do more integration work myself, I have a greater appreciation now for this type of work when it's done really well. So they did an incredible job. And share this video with your friends. Leave a like on the video. Let us know what your questions or comments are down below. I'm sure Colby and the team will monitor the comments down here so they can answer some questions about the system. And we'll see you guys next time.